I don't believe in giving up. You work hard and keep working hard even when you got it. When all you've ever had is nothing, your biggest fear is waking up and not having it. That ring a bell?
That does ring a bell.
So you wrote that May 13th, 2015.
Oh,
What are your thoughts now?
true. Still rings true.
Tell me why.
Man, that's a big question. All right. So to understand that, you have to know the background, right? And my background is one of just I had to work, right? There wasn't another way out, right? Um, this is not to paint a sob story or anything like that, because everybody has hard times, and I'm not oblivious to that, right? But in my own personal life, like that's what it's been. Everything has been clawing, and it's been a grind the entire time, right? So to have that peace, that's what's ultimately what I'm after.
What you've been working for?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first time you wrote that was when you were still in the fire academy,
Mm-hmm.
and I told you before I deep dived into basically anything you put on the internet for the most part. I didn't look for your MySpace, but I did find this, and it's heavy, right? It's a
Yeah.
very deep statement, especially 10 years ago. It still rings true because that was in 2015.
Yeah.
Um, what made you want to be a fireman?
I think every kid wants to be a fireman to a certain point, right? Like you see the fire truck, you see all that stuff, and you're like, dude, that's awesome, right? Like, but then something changes for some, right? So for me, grandfather had health problems. I'm 16 years old. I'm in the middle of just a tumultuous time, just like what happens when you're 16, right? And fire department came by and, you know, did what they had to do. To this day, I'm not sure exactly what happened, you know, but I do know that he walked out of the hospital. And it's funny because years later, I actually ran into one of the guys that was on that call.
Pretty wild. They
Yeah.
remembered you, or you remembered them?
He remembered my grandfather because
Wow.
I was on the same engine that ran that call that day.
Wow.
And we happened to roll by our old neighborhood. I'm like, oh, I used to live there. And he goes, where? I'm like, oh, that building. He goes, 3 doors down? I go, yeah. He goes, like I just saw his face kind of do a thing. And I'm like,
You could tell.
yeah, I could tell. So I started asking him questions, and sure enough, dude, like he remembered.
Wow.
Because like they weren't there all the time, but it was enough to where,
Yeah, it was unique enough.
it was unique enough, I guess.
For the first time last week, I noticed someone at the gym I'm at now,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't think I ever knew them. And, I see them occasionally say hello. That last week, they said he's a firefighter, and I knew they were talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
I just politely said, I'm not anymore. I left about 2 years ago. And I had no idea. It was a woman that said that. Her husband said, you ran her call. She was your patient. I was like, this was the first time it's happened to me. I mean, it's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
happened to you at some point.
Yeah, it has. It's a trip, dude.
And this was the first time I felt so bad. I didn't remember the call. I don't remember what happened. Now it's like I'm meeting her all over again. I was like, well, I'm glad to see you're okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you got to remind me what happened. And she reminded me the details. I still don't recall the exact
Yeah.
call.
There's too many of them.
Because, even just the time that I was in, just doing quick math, I ran hundreds of calls. You're running several calls a day.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't remember her call. But it's crazy that she remembers me. And
Yeah.
I was grateful where she's like, you were so nice. You took your time and you asked about her situation and what was wrong.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm glad you had a good experience, because with enough time, I started to grow bitter. And she had a relative there, I think a brother or cousin or something. He wants to pursue the fire department, so I was answering their questions and stuff too.
Gotcha.
And just being honest with the reality of,
I mean, that is the reality, dude.
yeah,
Like,
what happens.
So.
So,
It's all a blur. I'm right about to hit my 10-year mark, and it's a blur, man. Like, I remember bits and pieces, but one of the best things that I did, and I started young, like right when I got on the job, one of the old guys gave me a tip, was just like, dude, just hit reset on your way home, right? Like we talked about it before we got started, right?
yeah,
Like, what do you do with
your
the
free
time that you're driving around, right? You're
Yeah.
drowning it out with music or podcasts or a book, and that's fine. But you should also use that time to decompress and kind of,
Yeah, exactly. Clock out.
yeah,
So you always want to be a fireman as a kid? That
always.
was the
Yeah,
goal.
that was it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't pursue it because I was heavier as a kid, right? So it was
Yeah.
just like, oh, that's not in the cards for me, right? Like
Mhm.
just where the mentality was. I didn't think that I could do that, right? Like,
So I already have that written down. I said, when you decided to pursue the fire academy, you were much heavier. Tell me about that time in your life, and then tell me what you had to do to prepare for fire
all right,
academy.
so all things being equal, right? Like I was looking for the most efficient route. I'm like, okay, so I need to lose weight. How do I do this? And I'm like, well, let me go talk to a recruiter. You know, they'll they'll make me get into shape for boot camp. Gives me a good
Military
yeah,
recruiter.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'm
like
about to say, I was like, I never had a fire recruiter before.
yeah, so check this
Okay.
out. This
Military.
yeah, and I was
All right.
like, oh, I'm gonna go to military. They'll get me in shape. Gives me a good resume to set up and slide right in when I'm done. Right? Awesome. I get in there and they basically said, hey, fatty, you got to lose weight to join us too. And I was like, well, I don't need you guys.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
were you gonna sign up
I was. I mean, that
and you were
was
gonna do a couple years, get out, and
and get out
now
and
you're
pursue.
prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the idea.
Yeah.
So that took a turn. I was like, oh well, I get, you know,
It would have been a smart. I mean,
I
that in
mean,
theory that would
in
have
theory,
worked.
right?
Yeah.
Like
I
that was
worked
the
with a lot
idea.
of vets that became firemen
Yeah,
afterwards.
so do I.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of people like that. So that was kind of
Damn.
the segue.
So what'd you have to do on your own?
So honestly, man, like I just started running, like lowest barrier to entry. Like I was 240-ish pounds, something like that, right?
How old were you? Give or take, still a teenager.
19,
Okay. Yeah.
19, 20 years old,
Yeah.
right? Like I
Still
w-
really young.
still pretty young, like, but just smoking cigarettes, just very unhealthy, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I had to basically revamp everything. And the internet wasn't as big as it is now. I guess you could say. Never been a big internet guy.
It
So
was just
like,
different because I remember like around that same time period doing the math where it's like streaming wasn't a thing. It wasn't normal to just look up, oh, let me look up this artist. It was just like the internet wasn't
right,
used
it
that
wasn't used
way.
that way.
Social media was still kind of in the inception.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
influencers didn't
Exist. Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
Like,
It was just different.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like very, very minimal knowledge. And dude, I just started running because it's as easy as it gets.
Yeah.
Right. And if you can't walk, or if you can't run, you walk. And if you can't walk, you crawl. Like you
Yeah.
figure it out
Start
one way or
moving.
another. And it just kind of went on from there, like
Yeah.
I ran. I used to just run outdoors. And of course, Florida being Florida, I got tired of getting wet and, puddles and cars and almost getting hit a couple of times. So I was like, well, let me go get in the gym. I'd never been in the gym before. And I just started moving stuff and I realized like, oh, this is actually not bad. So I got down to, I want to say about a buck 80, buck 85.
You lost, what, that 60 pounds?
Yeah, something like that. And
Yeah.
it
Over
changed my life,
50.
dude. Like I
Awesome.
owe my life to just fitness in general and just getting my shit together,
Yeah.
and like I put that on fitness and I don't care what kind of fitness you do, right? Like you talk to some people and they're like, oh, the CrossFit is this or, bodybuilding is that or powerlifting is dumb and cool, man. Cool. Let it be dumb. But as long as you're doing something,
Yeah.
like that's all. You do something, man. Just move.
Keep moving.
Just keep moving.
Yeah. So you took the approach of just calories in, calories out. I had to burn calories. And that's
Yeah, so
really
limited
good.
the food. So, growing up in a Cuban household, food was plentiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was one of the things I kind of looked at my mom, and I was just like, hey, I'm not eating your cooking anymore. Like nothing personal.
Yeah. I need to lose weight.
Yeah. And just little by little, man, and
Oh, yeah.
took off from there.
So what do you recommend for people prepping for the fire academy right now?
If you're prepping for the fire academy right now, I'd probably do a lot of soul searching, right? Understand what you're getting into.
So way less physical stuff.
Yeah,
You need to look
this is a
internally.
mental game,
Yeah.
right? Like the fire department, a lot of it's mental, and you see it now with, how things have gotten for mental health. Like there's a reason for it, and like you can't come in thinking it's what you see on TV and what you hear.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
I can attest.
Right?
Yeah. I definitely wanted to get your perspective, and we're going to dive really deep into your career, what you've done, what you're currently doing.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Where I gained weight in the fire academy, which is not normal. Most people were losing weight, but because I was so active outside of the academy, I was so tired I wasn't continuing my own normal
Mhm.
workouts. So the instructors would be like, "Oh, so and so lost this much. How much you lose? How much you
Oh,
lose?"
they were weighing you guys?
No, not literally, but like they could see like
Oh,
a
okay.
lot of my classmates were losing weight. Like they look great.
Yeah.
And like they'd ask you like, "Yo, how much did you lose?" I was like, "Dude, I've gained like 8 pounds." Whatever the number was, right?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
was putting on weight. They're like, "How?" And I'm like, "Well, normally I'm like training so hard outside of this. I'm so tired. I'm not doing my normal stuff.
Mhm.
And now I'm overeating because it's just like you're
Yeah,
tired, you're drinking Gatorades and You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You're
Rehab.
just trying to replenish what
Yeah,
you've
Rice
lost.
Krispies. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
normally eat Rice Krispies, but you get out of a burn or whatever. You're just
Yeah,
eating
you got to
crap.
do what you got to do. You need
Yeah.
fuel. You need recovery.
Yeah,
all
you're
that.
just eating crap. So I actually was the opposite regarding the fire academy. I gained weight rather than
Wow.
lose weight.
I think I maintained pretty steady.
Yeah,
Pretty
which is a
steady.
healthy way to do it.
Yeah.
But I completely agree. Psychologically, you have to be prepared.
Yeah. Just understand what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And the job isn't for everybody, which is totally okay, right?
Yeah.
Like, props to you, props to those that realize like before it's too late and they get out, because you see the ones that stick around, right? And I'm sure you saw them.
They make the problem so much worse. Where
It's terrible for everybody.
that's a contributing factor where you're around salty guys,
right.
where then you're bringing down bright new guys, green, right off,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, right out of the academy. And like
Right,
you're
but
getting
then-
tainted really early.
Right. But if you come in with a strong mind
Perspective.
and a strong perspective,
Yeah.
all that's just noise,
Yeah.
because that's not going to go away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. My biggest recommendation, similar to what you just said, is to talk to guys that have been in and been out.
Yeah.
Whether been out regarding retirement or they left, you know what I mean,
Yeah. To
before
pursue other
retirement,
things or
Yeah.
injured out,
whatever
it
it
may
was.
be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talk to people.
That's great advice.
Yeah. Because people watch Chicago Fire and all these stupid
Right,
shows,
right.
and I'm just like, none of this is remotely close. I can't even bother
I can't watch
keeping them on the screen.
it. Yeah. I can't watch it.
They're not remotely close.
Yeah. It's
right?
fine, man. It's entertainment.
It is
Right?
entertainment.
I just don't need to watch that.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
But it's inspiring these young kids where they
Well-
think we're kicking down doors every single day.
right.
And it's just like,
It's
not
not,
the
the
case.
reality.
yeah. So tell me a little bit. You had a pretty unique experience with the fire academy, right? Wasn't there like a lot of changes with buildings and the school and all this other stuff? Wasn't there kind of a lot of stuff, moving parts?
There was. We're just moving around a lot, right? So they took
Yeah.
us to like Tampa Fire's training ground. And we had ours, and just back and forth. We went on to the Victory ship, and we'll talk about that afterwards. I may have somebody that can get you in there.
Cool. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is, to be honest with you, but it sounds like a boat.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
USS Victory. It was used.
Is that
as
in
a cargo-
Tampa?
Yeah.
By the aquarium?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. I toured it as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be a cool spot.
Yeah. Super, super neat. But didn't your school close or something?
Oh,
Right?
EMT school.
EMT school?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Tell me
Sorry
about that.
Yeah, so going to EMT school, and this is around the time like I got all my stuff together, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm done with fire, doing my EMT. This is the last hurdle. Like here we go. Nose to the grindstone. I'm still working full time. Luckily the bosses that I had at the time, they kind of just let me do my thing, like whether it's coming in late, leaving early,
Yeah.
anything in between to get everything done. We had a semester left about, and we walk in and it looks like the school's being looted. And
This
you
is
see-
the story I remember.
Yeah,
But it was
like,
EMT school.
it was EMT school.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I pull into the parking lot and I see everybody just running out. Not running, but like they're carrying picture frames, and like you see chairs are getting rolled, boxes are being walked out. And it's like students, it's staff, it's everybody, and I'm like, what the hell's going on in there? So, of course I hop out, see one of my buddies. I'm like, hey, what's going on? They go, hey, the school's closed. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, they're just shutting it down. Just from one day to another, like, sorry about your luck, sorry
Yeah.
about your money. Like, if you want to keep going to school, we could transfer you to our campus in Orlando to finish it out. If not, like,
Good luck.
good luck.
Wow.
So at this point in my life, like, I need to get this done. I'm not on a timer per se, but right, I haven't been accomplishing much of anything.
What you wanted.
What I want, right? Like,
Yeah.
I need to get this done. And we were lucky, man. We were lucky. There was a group of four instructors that they stayed and taught us the rest of the semester unpaid just to get us through.
Unreal.
Yeah. The only thing the school had to do was just let us use the building, which they did, thankfully.
Yeah.
But
Kind of the least they could do.
right.
You already paid for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Kudos to them.
yes.
Those were active firefighters that were
yeah,
on the job.
I still
and-
work with them to this day.
Yeah, it's badass.
Yeah, I
It's
see them
really,
on the
really
street.
cool.
One of them is an instructor I worked with recently.
Yeah.
And
Super neat.
yeah, it's awesome. I tell everybody that story, like just the type of people, right?
Yeah.
Like
Those
that's
are who you want to be working
right,
and who you want to work with.
right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Very neat. Yeah, I've told you my story before, but like the people listening, you'll slowly get my story in bits and pieces. But
Mhm.
I made the decision to pursue the fire department. You were a friend of mine that I talked to. I talked to other firemen before making the decision.
Mhm.
And I started the ball. I got like my prereqs. I had to have like certain courses done with like medical terminology and crap.
Mhm.
I started EMT school for Pasco Hernando State College. We had to start EMT and then fire. They may have changed that. You did fire first, but
Hmm.
I started EMT school January of 2020.
COVID.
Do you remember this whole story? Maybe.
Bits and pieces.
So
That whole era was
a blur.
that was a crazy time.
Unbelievable. So I was already trying to become a volunteer so I can get like a bunker number and like slowly get in, you know what I mean? A
Yeah,
lot
yeah, get your
faster.
foot in the door.
Right. And they wouldn't let us volunteer or not because of COVID, but like they were just giving problems for volunteers and stuff. So I started the EMT program and we finish our midterms and we go on spring break and we never went back because of COVID. COVID hit. So we were in class and we were talking about like my instructor was like, "Hey, look at this crazy stuff in China. Like it's gonna make its way over here. Like this is what's gonna kind of happen."
Yeah, yeah.
He predicted a lot of things very accurately about how things were gonna unfold. And we went on spring break. We never went back.
Wow.
I'm like, so spring break, that was like March of
Sometime.
2020. And then the school freaks out with the pandemic and they're like, yeah, you can't finish school. We're going to try to do some stuff online. But like, you have to have so many hours. You
Yeah,
can't
you
learn
can't.
CPR or how to intubate
Yeah, yeah.
with a computer screen. That's not how this works. So I was in limbo from March till like the fall, almost the winter,
Oof.
where I couldn't get a job because I couldn't go to the fire academy and I wasn't legally anything. I wasn't an EMT. So like, yeah, I just started working like landscaping jobs and just like
Yeah,
random stuff to just like make money and do something, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then we did a couple classes online, which was
A joke.
a joke because nothing got accomplished. You can't learn
No,
these
you can't.
skills. You
No,
can't
no.
learn anything physical. And then in the fall, I want to say it was like November-ish, maybe. They're like, hey, they're allowing us to come on. We have to do social distancing. You have to wear a mask, whatever. We're gonna have one refresher day and a test out. I only had 8 weeks of instruction for EMT school. I didn't have the 16 weeks. So your refresher is like learning the second half of EMT school after you haven't gone for 7, 8, 9 months, whatever the time
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
right? Now I just forgot everything we did the first 8 weeks. And then you had to test out.
Oof.
So a lot of it was just like cramming, trying to memorize stuff.
Yeah, that's a setup.
And then the fire academy, people didn't finish the 2020 class. The 2021 class didn't get to start, which should have been done. So they had to cram all these people. So how many people were in your fire academy?
So mine was
Pretty
Fire
big.
Academy or like hiring
Your
class?
fire academy.
Fire Academy, I think we started with 30 and finished with like 18.
So that's a pretty big starting class. We start with 46.
Wow.
We graduated 36.
Wow.
So we graduated more than you guys started with, which is big. It's a
Yeah,
very big
yeah,
class
that is a
because of
big class.
COVID. They're just like, we got to throw people into
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
right? So then that took a while. Then I had to get hired on and so on and so forth. But yeah, I just knew we both had weird stories with school.
Yeah, yeah, man. That
Between your school closing, I had a pandemic.
yeah.
So
Yours takes the cake though.
mine was tough because then
Yeah.
passing the national was like impossible.
Mhm.
We only had 1 or 2 people pass it the first time. They tried to take it in December because like it took us a year to take the class
Can I tell you my paramedic
for your national.
story?
No.
Oh, this is a good one. So I'm in paramedic school, and our instructor, awesome guy, goes, "Hey, there's rumblings."
You told me this, yeah.
Yes,
Keep going.
There's rumblings in the pipeline that they're going to change from the state test to the national, and this is like the first time, right? Like
That the state
nobody
of Florida
that
did
the
that.
state of Florida is going to adopt it. Like there are no study guides, there are no nothing. Nobody knows what's on the test. How can you prepare for a test that even your own instructors haven't seen, right?
Yeah.
So he goes, "Don't quote me on this, but if you sign up for the state, it's good for a year." And I kind of looked at the timeline and I'm like, all right, like I've spent $50 on worse, right? Like
Yeah.
might as well. And luckily it worked out for me and a handful of other ones that took that chance. And then the other guys had to take the national multiple times because,
Way harder
it
test.
was just a very difficult test that nobody, I mean, how are you as an instructor going to prepare me for something that you've never seen? You have no idea what's on there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a setup.
Pretty wild.
So luckily, hats off to that guy.
So just finishing up your experience in the academy, what was the hardest part in the academy for you?
I think it was just the way the fire department works as far as it's semi-military,
Yeah,
right?
paramilitary.
Paramilitary, kind of just that ambiance of like
Yeah, structure.
that structure, right? And it was an adjustment just because I had never dealt with it. But once I understood it, I was firing on all cylinders, right? But I definitely had just trouble as far as like fitting into this box that they wanted me
Yeah. Chain of
in.
command,
Chain of
learning
command,
how this
that
stuff
type of
works.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely different. So we already kind of addressed this, but in the state of Florida, you have to be an EMT to be a firefighter. So
Hmm.
that's the baseline.
That's the baseline.
Describe getting hired with Hillsborough County Fire Rescue.
Oh, that was fun. So I actually had to go through two interviews. So I bombed the first one. So they do the interviews in series, right? So you get one interview. It's kind of like your foot in the door. Got a couple people there. They like you. You move on to the second phase, right? It's a panel. Now you have your chief officers. You have higher captains. A little bit of everybody.
Yeah.
And then the last one is the fire chief's interview. So when I first interviewed, I got cut off at the first one. But they told me to come back. I think they could tell I was nervous, right? Like, this was a long time coming for me. And prior to that, probably not the best thing I did, but I did it anyway, and it kind of worked out. I had an interview set up with Sarasota. Sorry about that. But it was going to be like a scheduling conflict. So I picked Hillsborough, and I was like, all eggs in one basket, which is very unlike me, but I just had to take that chance.
Sure.
And second go around went great. It went smooth. I still remember my panel interview, bunch of chiefs in there. And, they start talking to you about this, that, and the other. And it turns into more of a conversation. Right. So then I was able to kind of relax, and
Yeah.
they
Just
start
like this.
Yeah, just like this,
Yeah.
And one of the chiefs asks, where did you go to high school? And I told him, oh, I went to Lato High School right up the road. And he goes, Lato? He's like, that's like surviving prison. And it wasn't a terrible school, but it was
Yeah.
a little rough around the edges.
Yeah. You could bond with them though.
Yeah. Like he's
Yeah.
alumni, and
Yeah.
it was cool after that, man. Like,
Yeah.
I still talk to him to this day.
That's awesome. Very cool. So describe your first year as a fireman.
Ooh, first year. So first day, first shift, show up 6:45 in the morning as a rookie, got my donuts, whatever,
Yeah.
Fun, knock on the door. Captain comes out, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm here. I'm reporting for duty. And he's like,
Too early.
he's like, what? He's like, get inside.
I was going to ask you why the hell you got there so early. That's
Well,
really
like
early.
shift change, I was trying to
Yeah.
be there by 7. The station was so far from my house.
You
that-
guys change at 8
yeah,
or 7?
on paper it's 8,
Okay.
but we're there by 7,
Yeah.
7:30 at the
Yeah.
latest, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I walk in, and he's kind of looking at me like I've just I woke him up,
Yeah.
and he's just like, just grab a broom, like, because I'm like, I'm ready to go.
What do I
but
do?
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
The whole crew's still sleeping, and yeah, it wasn't bad. Talked to the captain. He pulled me aside, kind of just let me know what he expects out of me, and kind of went on from there. Which
Yeah.
is a good thing, because needed something.
My first day, I didn't even ask you, but I got up crazy early, just like you. But I actually parked across the street. There's like an elementary school where I was assigned for my orientation stuff,
Mhm.
and I waited in the parking lot till like 7:15 and to know I was early. Like, but I was like within reason.
Right.
And then I walked in, so I didn't get. I was there probably at 6:30, but I knew I'm gonna be freaking weird to show up that
Yeah,
early,
yeah.
right? So I just sat across the street and just like patiently waited. And I was like, all right, it was like 7:15 or whatever. So like I was definitely still earlier than you need to be, right?
Yeah.
So pretty funny.
Yeah.
'Cause I was gonna get the same reaction. They're like,
Right.
why the hell are you here this early?
I was just
Because then
like-
you're just like a nuisance.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I just wanted to get
Yeah.
there. I was so excited.
Well, another thing, like in my fire academy, they didn't really teach you like, oh, in the beginning you're gonna have station duties, you're gonna have this, this, and this. You're kind of thrown a little bit to the wolves, where it's like,
Oh yeah.
fire academy is just like hose, ladders, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This,
Station life.
reading smoke. They don't
Station
really
life
teach you.
comes in after.
Yeah.
Like our orientation, like the rookies for the most part know as soon as they come out, like here's what you need to do every morning, whether
Yeah.
it's duties, checking out the truck, gear change, all that good stuff. Like
Yeah.
they come out knowing that much, and then after that, you just learn.
What was the hardest part of your first year?
Keeping my mouth shut.
Okay. All right. I didn't have that problem. Tell me why.
Just you're a rookie,
Yeah.
right? And the people that I came up under, it was very much like, maybe don't have an opinion this year. It might be good for you,
Yeah.
And that's not to say that they were trying to silence me or anything, but it was good advice as far as what the fire department is and what it's not,
Yeah.
right? Like you can have a voice, sure, but time and place and all that good stuff. And it was very good for me to just listen and just watch and understand how things work before I started putting my 2 cents in there, because that's where problems may arise unintentionally,
Sure.
right? You may say something that you don't truly mean. I mean, it's the fire department, right? You're going to
Yeah.
talk shit. You're going to sit at the coffee table and,
Yeah.
whatever.
Or you don't know that you're wrong.
Right.
May voice an opinion you thought you were right, and
Exactly.
you
And
just
then
weren't.
now your reputation is this, and now you're pigeonholed, blackballed, whatever you want. And
Yeah.
over what, man?
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
what? So that was the hardest part. Not to say that I'm outspoken by any means, but if I feel strongly about something, I'm going to tell you. And if your feelings hurt,
Yeah.
sorry, that's not what I'm
Yeah.
trying to do. But
And it's also everything's new,
right,
where
right.
it's just like,
Like I don't know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
You know,
you're just everything's green,
right?
right? So if you were to name one thing, what was the hardest part of your first year?
I guess the process to get to where I was to where I'm at now, because I ultimately wanted to be on heavy rescue, like special operations from day one.
From day one?
From day one, like I had my research done, right?
Yeah.
Like I knew where I wanted to go. I just didn't know how to get there. And there's no real path to get there. It's just a lot of it is luck, timing. Like I'm very, very fortunate. I've been very blessed that I've been able to accomplish the things that I've been able to do. Because a lot of it, like, yeah, it came from me, but a lot of it didn't, right?
Yeah,
Like
just chance.
it just chance, just
Yeah.
worked out.
Yeah.
But the more you prepare, the luckier you get.
So I've got everything prepared. Describe the main fire apparatuses. So you already said about a heavy rescue, which we'll get into that in a little bit, but
Mhm.
describe to the people listening, they've probably never been on a fire truck, hopefully not an ambulance, but describe a ladder, an engine, a rescue.
All right, so your fire engine, has water, hoses, 2 to 3 personnel, 4 depending on where you're at, and they deal with primarily putting water on fire, right? Fire attack, and they run medical calls and assist the paramedic unit or BLS, basic life support units on
Yeah.
medical calls.
But most people don't realize that's not the truck with the ladder on top.
No, no. The truck with the ladder on top also has some hose, less water, more people, but they're trained to a different degree and they have separate roles and responsibilities, right? So whenever you see a fire truck with a ladder on top of it, those are your search and rescue guys. If there's a fire, you have a team putting water on the fire, you have a team looking for victims, right? And we have a team outside waiting for victims.
Yeah.
So,
And then the ambulance we call rescues.
right. The ambulances here in Florida, they're called rescues. Some northern guys won't like that.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, people call them buses or
Yeah,
squads and
yeah.
everything else, depending where you're at.
But yeah, so we have our ambulances. Hillsborough staffs every rescue with 2 paramedics,
Yeah, which is awesome.
which is incredible.
Which is incredible. So explain. So that's unique for Hillsborough because a lot of departments they don't have enough medics.
Right.
That's the reason. So explain why people call 911 and an ambulance and a fire truck shows up. Because they ask me all the time. They're like, "Why is a fire truck here if I need,
Well, a
medical?"
lot of it has to do the way that it's dispatched, right? So dispatch has certain cues or markers that are almost like keywords, right?
Yeah.
And depending on how you answer the questions that they give you will trigger a response automated to get to you. Ultimately, it's best that you do get both because oftentimes the ambulances are further away or there's not as many of them. So your fire engine at least has 1 paramedic, if not 3 on there. Most of ours do.
Yeah.
So you have 3 medics on scene immediately, starting patient care. Once the ambulance gets there, you get 2 more medics, right? Now you have 5,
Yeah.
right? You have 5 medics.
Which is unbelievable.
It's incredible.
So my experience is just Pasco County had less medics. They're definitely working on that. That times are definitely changing. But
Mhm.
there would be certain calls where we would have maybe 1 medic, hopefully 1 medic on an engine. It's
Mhm.
very rare that we had a BLS engine, right? Just
Mhm.
rare. And you might only have 1 paramedic on the ambulance. So imagine I'm on the ambulance and I get there with my medic. I'm limited with my skills if I'm
Right.
not a medic. And then you're waiting for the engine to come through and you only get 1 more opinion. It's drastically different than if you have 4 or 5 opinions
Right.
and everyone can help you. When you have 3 or 4 EMTs standing there
Right. And
You
they
kinda
can't
have
do
to
anything. They don't know
without
what's going on.
instruction, and
Yeah.
some things I just can't do,
Right.
certain,
Yeah.
drugs
Certain
and whatnot,
skills.
certain
And
yeah,
yeah. It's
yeah,
just not in your scope.
exactly, scope of practice.
Yeah.
So, describe your first year. Did you ride the ambulance at all at
I did, and
Hillsborough?
so I got very lucky. For some of the newer guys, I believe around 2020 or so, they started getting on ambulances right out of orientation.
Yeah.
Which I believe they've corrected it. Just because you need that foundation, right? You need a good foundation of being on an engine. So I actually was backwards for almost, I think it was like 3.5 years. So I purposely did not like get in and go to paramedic school right away. I didn't want that,
Yeah.
right? Like
Did you guys have a requirement a certain amount of time?
my class did not.
Oh
So
my
it
god.
was like every other class for a while there. I'm not sure of how they figured that out, but the class that I got hired in did not need to become a paramedic. But I chose to do it because, like, there comes to a certain point where you're just ready,
Yeah, and
right?
you gotta progress your
And you got
career
to
too.
progress,
Yeah.
you know?
I had a completely opposite experience. I think you already know this, but I got hired on in the contract, you have to become a medic within 3 years.
Hmm.
And medic school, for the people listening, is 1 year long, and you have to have that completed within the 3 years. Years before, it was 4, so you had a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But with 3 years,
3 years goes by quick.
extremely quick because you basically have to start around that 1 year mark because
Hmm.
then it has you're eating up the middle year, and then you have 1 year to pass your tests and orientations and all that crap just to
Right.
make sure you're clear. But
Yeah.
like,
People don't realize that time once you finish your test or finish school and then you go to test, like, that's still a good ways away.
it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a smart way and a less smart way to do it.
Yeah.
But I got hired on. It's hard to accurately count. I want to say I only rode an engine 20, 25 times
Yeah.
my entire time in the fire service.
Wow.
I just rode an ambulance every day. And then I got TD wide, which is a temporary assignment. It's a military term, but when you're the lowest guy on the totem pole, it's not temporary. You're just assigned
Yeah.
to this apparatus.
I've seen it happen.
And I just rode the box every day, and we were getting slammed. We're running 14 calls, 17 calls a
Yeah.
shift.
And that's rough.
It is rough.
That's
And like
rough.
we're supposed to have a rotation, but again, I'm the lowest guy on the totem pole.
You don't get a rotation.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 other guys in my hiring class. So there's 3 of us trying to rotate that one spot. It's never happens.
Yeah.
Not often, right? There's a handful of times it did. But yeah, I just rode the box. And it's just if you have a brand new firefighter, always ride backwards as a third man or a fourth man. We'll talk about those terms in a couple minutes. You could really develop this following, or not this following, but this foundation of like, okay, this is how I make entry. This is how I deploy this is how I do that. And
Right.
like you're fireman first, and then you grow with the medical.
Right. And that's kind of the route that I went.
I had no choice. So
No, and
yeah.
that sucks, dude. And
Yeah.
there are guys that got hired after I did that's the same thing that they went through.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of it is luck, man. Like, I hate to say it, but it's such a roll of the dice. Like,
It is.
your career, like, you can do everything right and it could still not work out for you.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a chance you take, man. That's a
It
chance.
is.
You know, it's a real roll of the dice
And
in that aspect.
it just shows I have a very unique perspective
Yeah.
with how the things rolled. Because I've got friends where they just happen to land good crews
Hmm.
and like they rotated pretty evenly. Not that I had like the worst crews. I'm not trying to say that at all. But it's just like I've got friends that were catching fire almost weekly.
Yeah.
I only made entry 2 times.
Wow.
Or I know I've told you that privately, but I never deployed a hose line in real life. Never used an axe. Never used a chainsaw. Never breached a door in real life. We did all this stuff in training.
Right.
I used a K-12 once and a pike pole. We did some overhaul on a couple calls, which I didn't really count if I'm not really making entry. If you're just like tearing stuff up, that's
Right.
not really fighting fire.
Yeah. You're just
But-
overhaul at that point. But
Yeah, but I was just like the unluckiest.
Yeah.
Fireman you can find.
From the start, dude.
Yeah, from
Like,
the rip.
from EMT school.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Like,
yeah. My entire experience is pretty rough.
yeah.
So we already noted that most departments require becoming a paramedic. You didn't have to become a paramedic, but eventually you did.
I did.
Describe why medic school is so difficult as a full-time firefighter.
So that goes back to our schedule, right? And I'm sure you've seen the rumblings of a lot of departments are switching. For people that don't know, we work 24 hours on, 48 off, run a 3-week cycle of that, get a whole day off, equates to 5 days, your little reset, go back to work. But right now, the way it's set up, so I'll give you my experience with it. It was very difficult because I'm on a busy engine. We're running all day, all night. So I get off work. I have 1 day off to basically prepare for the next 2 days and study. So I get off work, I go home, take a nap, whatever it is, study, get ready, shift prep, all that stuff. Because what I then did is on the C shift, the day before my shift, I'd go and ride either 12 or 24 hours to
For
get
clinical.
4 clinicals,
Yeah.
right? So then I had class on other C shifts that I wasn't in clinicals. And it was just this constant rotation. I'm still working. I'm still in the gym. Like everything is still getting done. You're just spread thin.
So you were working 36 to 48 hours because of clinical and your normal shift.
Right. So
You know, you're not
usually
getting paid for all
anytime,
those,
yeah,
but
yeah, you're not getting paid, but
yeah.
essentially anytime I would leave, oh, C shift evening, I wouldn't be back till B shift mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm still an adult, still have things to have to get,
Yeah,
get taken
grocery
care of,
shopping, your
grocery
house,
shop, whatever.
dogs, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
that on top of, you're trying to learn anatomy and physiology and pharmacology and,
yeah,
you know, all of this stuff. It's a lot,
it
right?
is a lot.
I think it's intentionally almost a little pressure cooker
Yeah.
because reality is that's what you're going to be on.
That almost sounds a little bit easier because again, at Pasco, depending which school people go to, let's just say they work A shift just like you.
Hmm.
A shift, you work 24 hours. B shift, you'll have class. C shift, clinical. A shift, back on
Yeah,
shift.
back on shift.
So like they weren't able to just hit the C shift
Gotcha.
the way that the schedule
Yeah,
was
the way it
fall,
was spread out.
where it's just
That's
like
almost worse, dude.
it's
Like
way
you don't
worse.
have a day.
It's what you don't have a day.
Well, that
It's
was
way
this
worse.
that day, and that was my saving grace, right? I was able to ride C shift nights overnight. So I'd come in at 8 p.m., ride till 8 a.m. I'd be at my own station.
Yeah,
So I
nights
just
at
roll
work.
into my shift,
Yeah, way easier.
way easier.
Again, just the way different departments do things and schools. A lot of it's the school.
A lot
It's
of it
not
is the
it's
school.
not the department. The school just like, hey, it's available this day, this day. I don't care when it falls
Right.
because they're not really tracking the shifts. They just say it's every Tuesday, Wednesday.
Hmm.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever the shifts or the school days are.
Yeah.
Way harder because then a lot of times you can't ride at your own
No.
station.
No.
So now,
No, that sets you up.
yeah, now you're running late calls as a student. Now you're late to
Your
your own
shift.
shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're kind of pissed off because it's not like you're working overtime. You were a student, not getting paid for anything. So
Right.
it just makes everything so complicated. So that entire year of school, a lot of people call it hell year. I don't know if they called it that for you, but
Yeah. I mean, it was,
pretty
but
rough.
again, that's the price,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the price of admission.
Uh, at Hillsborough, what do you do once you're a licensed medic? Explain how they operate.
So once you're a licensed medic, they'll send like an email out and say, "Hey, there's a paramedic orientation." The way that Hillsborough does it, and it's not paramedic school. It's just a way for you to orient yourself to the protocols of Hillsborough County.
Yeah.
You know,
But then you're a pro-B medic for a year, right?
for a year, yeah,
And you get a preceptor.
and you get a preceptor.
So explain that whole thing because like other departments are drastically
So
different.
obviously, we have 2 medics on every unit. One of those medics is an officer. For us in Hillsborough, it's a lieutenant,
Okay.
right? So your lieutenants aren't on engines; those are captains, just like trucks captains are rescue lieutenants.
Yeah.
Lieutenants. Lieutenant is in charge of bringing you up to speed over that year, right? Tracks your progress. He keeps up with all your training, and by the end of the year, you're able to go and test to be a standalone medic. What that means is, are you prepared to be the lead medic on a call on an
Yeah.
apparatus?
Solo. You could be solo.
Right.
Yep.
And it'll happen.
Yeah.
Right. So you
with
just
enough
want to
time.
make sure that they're prepared. So
Yeah.
you go through one trauma, one medical, and at the end they'll tell you, hey, you passed, congratulations, or hey, come back on such and such date.
Yeah. So again, things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
I was accepted to paramedic school and I declined it, which is kind of a big deal because a lot of people, if they don't get in, they'll blame that they're getting terminated for not fulfilling their contract because school didn't let them in.
Yeah.
So the school was like, you need to like fill out paperwork that like we were letting you in, but you're choosing not to. So like you can't sue us if you lose your job over this.
Oh, well.
They took it pretty seriously. I'm like, I know what I
Mhm.
understand the choice I've made.
At
At
what
the
at what point did you know that you were leaving?
6 months in, I can tell you the exact shift. I can tell you the exact call. And so what really helped my mental health was my writing. And I've written every single week, and that definitely hasn't stopped. So there's calls. I don't know if I've ever showed you these. I've already written stories where I'm gonna wait till there's enough people listening and watching to read them, and the world will know these stories. So I'm not gonna jump the gun too much, but I was TDY'd at the station. I was 6 months in the field, so it's about 8 months on the job. We had a 2-month orientation,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was about 6 months on the street as just a normal dude. I'm still in my pro B year, but like I'm just another fireman. And actually, I wasn't at my TDY station. I was floating because That was another mess. Then we had too many guys, so then you had to get floated
Oh
out.
yeah, it happens. It happens.
Oh
We
yeah.
call it jaring. Same thing.
Yeah,
It's
so I was getting
terrible.
floated a lot.
Yeah.
So, long story short, we ran 14 calls this night, 17 calls, and there was a specific signal 7 on the side of US 19
Hmm.
where signal 7 means the person's deceased with nothing that we could provide them. And yeah, we're about to make a U-turn and SO sheriff's office, they rip the U-turn way faster than my ambulance and they get there like 45 seconds before us. And my paramedic's about to get ready to go. Like, we don't know. It's just an unknown man down. We don't know it's a signal 7 yet. And I just had this intuition of like, this is gonna be quick. And I distinctly remember 6 months on the job, standing over this deceased guy on the side of the road who was a John Doe at the time.
Hmm.
And the first thing I thought of was, good, this will be quick. I'm just gonna go back to bed. And that's where I'm like, this is gonna be a very, very arduous 30 years. If 6 months in, I already don't give a shit. It's a very tough reality to accept.
It is, but you can't give a shit, dude.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to have these conversations where people are watching TV and you know they have all these expectations and you think you're going to get warm and fuzzy feelings when you provide CPR and the person wakes up and they're alive and it's just like none of that happens.
No, but you don't do it for the warm fuzzy feeling. You just do it because you know at the end of the day you're providing somebody help,
Yeah,
right? And
tried your best.
that's the job.
Yeah.
You know.
So that was just like the physical moment
Gotcha.
where I'm just like, damn, if 6 months in, I've already achieved this amount of salt, it's going to be a tough
Yeah.
3 decades. And there's a bunch of things that went to it. I was TD wide, I was floating, then I was always on the ambulance, and it's like I wasn't fighting fire. I wasn't doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I didn't get to
No,
pick my crew.
you got the worst
I got the short end
experience.
of every
Yes.
stick.
Yes.
It's just like I couldn't catch a break. But it
No.
was distinctly that gentleman. And I'll give the details the day that I eventually read the story. There were other calls that night that were very funny. For the first time that night, for the first time ever, I forgot my shoes.
Oh, nice.
Because again, when you're in station life, you can just wear something cleaner so you're not traipsing this crap around. You know what it's
Yeah,
like. And yeah, my shoes are in front of the door at the rescue. And we got no sleep that night. We got like 20 minutes of sleep. It was just one of those. And the station has been condemned. It's currently
Oh,
a FEMA trailer. That just shows you how bad it was at the time. At the time, it was not a trailer, but it had black mold and bugs and insects and all these problems.
hmm.
So, like, I wouldn't even sleep in the bed because we all knew that it had insect problems, like spiders and stuff. So I would just try to take naps in the recliners.
Wow.
It was that rough of a station. And yeah,
That's
one of those calls, I forgot my shoes, and it was just some BS like SO assist or whatever. And we're in downtown Newport Richie, and that's when I realized I'm still wearing Crocs. And I tell the same medic, who's a great dude, and I'm like, I forgot my shoes. You know what I mean? Like, because we used to have to wear boots, and now you could just wear black shoes if they're polishable and whatever else, just more comfortable. And I just
Mhm.
forgot like my black tennis shoes. And he's like, no one's gonna notice. I'm like, dude, we're in downtown, and like it's like a Friday or Saturday night. There's like 300 drunk people. I'm like, someone's gonna notice a firefighter walking around in Crocs. Like, this is gonna hit social media in like 10 minutes. So he's like, you already know what you got to do. The only other option I had was to put on my structured pants and boots, which I would look like a dork for a freaking EMS call wearing structure pants.
Yeah.
But
Done that.
thankfully, SO canceled us. I never even got out of the truck.
Oh, nice.
But from that point forward, I put my shoes in like the wheel, like the where your pedals are.
Mm-hmm.
So like I physically couldn't forget my shoes. They were
Gotcha.
literally like at the pedals. Even if you got in tired, like now you just have Crocs and shoes
Yeah, yeah.
at the pedal. So that was rough. But describe what it's like working on a box, working on a rescue.
Ooh, it's soul sucking.
It is soul sucking.
It's exhilarating. It's fun. It's miserable. It's sad.
You used a lot of words right there.
Yeah.
So your
It's
first
all the things.
your first 3.5 years were on a truck, riding backwards,
Yeah.
kicking down doors, fighting fire. You
Mhm.
just described mostly shit words, pardon my language, right?
Yeah.
But just like, what'd you say? Soul sucking, miserable,
Yeah. Tragic,
tragic.
hilarious, amazing.
Yeah, so there's a
Like,
couple fun ones in there. But
yeah.
imagine your first 18 months ever of this career. And the first thing you're feeling is like soul sucking. Like that's kind of like the vortex I got sucked into.
Yeah.
But for the people listening, they have no idea what we're talking about. Describe what happens on a box. It's you and maybe a medic. It could be an EMT.
And that's it.
And you're just running medical calls.
You're
all
just
day.
running medical calls
all day.
all day.
That's all you do.
And I was on Rescue 4, stationed out of Sefner. When I became a medic was right around like the end of the Spice era. I don't know if you remember the Spice
Yeah,
era.
K2 spice.
K2,
Yeah.
Spice, all that.
It's
Meth was really blowing
synthetic
up.
artificial marijuana is what it
Right, and it was
was.
just making bath salts were kind of like a thing for a minute too.
Yeah.
So that was in the era that I came out of, and like Sefner, Florida, very small little area, very poor, very rundown. Right, it's
Yeah. A
just
lot of drugs.
a lot of drugs, very unfortunate, and you're just running call after call after call, and it wasn't a matter of if you're gonna get a real ALS call, it's when and how many.
Yep.
Like that area, the where it's at, very close to I-4 301. So you can go north, south, east to Brandon. Like you can get anywhere fast.
Yeah.
So it was a very good station as far as experience goes. Because if you pull out of the station, you go east, you're going towards Plant City, very rural. So now you got long transport times, right? Like you're
Yeah.
getting deep in the protocol. You're calling medic one, like, hey, I've gone through the entire protocol. Like, what else you got?
Yeah.
Right?
For these serious calls.
Very serious calls.
Yeah.
Like a lot of traffic accidents, high mechanism. I was very lucky because I was on the engine and I was able to just go right over to the rescue once I got my medic and I got out of orientation. And I-4, tons of traffic accidents, right? So I got a lot of trauma and I got to see both sides of it. Like I was the firefighter, right, on that engine,
Yeah.
on that extrication, and then later I am the medic treating the patient that was just extricated, right? Like it almost came like full circle. So it was
Yeah.
really cool. Um, but yeah, man, it, it's a job like anything else, but it's more than that, right? Like there's very special people that do that job. Like just to have that degree of empathy towards strangers is I don't know how
It's
some people do it.
it's tough to have. It's even harder to maintain.
Right. And like when you see medics, especially when you see lieutenants that have been lieutenants for 15 years, 20 years, and they're still that way,
It's
it's
unbelievable.
unbelievable.
6 months and I was losing it.
Right.
And I that's just
And that I feel like you have to go through that.
and it's just me being honest.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a badge of honor. It's just like, damn, how did I lose it this fast? Like I
Yeah.
genuinely want to help people. This is why I'm here.
Yeah.
And
So
within 6 months, I was like,
I went through something like that, dude. Like it was peak COVID time and PPE was at a very short amount. I don't know if you remember, like all sorts of companies were starting to make PPE just to help. You
yeah.
remember that?
People are trying to make their own hand sanitizer. It was a
Right.
rough
Like
time.
very crazy times. As a department, we couldn't get our hands on enough PPE fast enough. So what they did, and it was for a short period of time, was they stopped all the engines from responding to medicals and just let the rescues do it. And occasionally would give them one more person. So it's 3 on a rescue versus just the 2, and let the suppression units just run suppression oriented calls, traffic accidents, fire alarms, fires, right? And that was out of the PPE necessity. So I understand that, not knocking them for it. But on the tail end of that, the rescues got completely obliterated. So our rescue, which would average anywhere from 10 to 12, now went from 12 to 18. Like
Yeah.
it was a big spike. And you think 3 or 4 calls, oh, it's not that big a deal, but it's a grind. It's every single day that
Yeah.
you go in and work and you're running 15 calls. Like our shortest transport time is 30 minutes
I was just about to say one call could be 1 hour.
minimum.
Could be 3 or 4 hours.
Could be 3 or 4.
Depending what the hell's going on.
Right.
But when you have 17,
Right. Like you're not leaving until 10:30 in the morning getting caught up on reports. And
yeah.
then you got to be back in a day and a half.
Yeah.
Right. Do it
It's
all
rough.
over again. So especially during peak COVID, like I took a lot of time off. I took more time off than I ever had in my career.
Yeah.
But I noticed it, right? Because I started getting very frustrated.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to, like
Crack. Thankfully, you had enough time accumulated.
Yes.
'Cause if you're a brand new guy,
Yo, you have no
you
time.
you got to swap and
Yeah,
you
you
got to
gotta
payback swaps, and then you're just you're still heading this amount of time.
Yep.
So explain the complex responsibilities that the lead medic has. People don't realize the amount of stuff we could do in the back of a truck. So
Yeah.
just touch a little bit.
I mean, not to get too much into the sticks of it, but it's essentially a rolling ER. There's very little that we can't do that gets done in an emergency room. And with a quarter of the personnel, 45, 50 miles an hour, middle of the
An
night.
eighth of the personnel.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
yeah.
So some things people don't realize: intubating, paralytics.
Yeah.
Uh, again, I was not a medic, but sedatives, extreme narcotics for pain management.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this in the back of a truck doing 70 plus miles an hour.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're the only medic if the other medic's driving,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Hopefully you got other people in the back riding in from the engine or whatever you guys do, right?
Mm-hmm.
People do not realize. So the way I've described it to other like friends and stuff is like I almost compare our tier medics because other stations and departments are different or cities, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We're way closer to like a field PA, like a physician's assistant
It's
in
definitely
the field,
moving towards that way.
because there's certain things where a hospital staff could not provide that care without orders, and we're just doing that in the back of a truck
Right.
where you're just administering fentanyl for extreme pain management.
Right.
And like in the hospital, it has to go through this huge
It has
chain
to
of
go through this
command.
chain of command, whereas for us, we just have standing protocols.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just if you're within your protocol, you measure it, you double check it, and then you give it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you ever need clarification, like you always have, your doctor, medic one. as
Exactly.
Some departments have,
Yeah.
your medical director, you just give him a ring.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, like I was taught differently. Like I was taught, like, have a solution ready for when you present it to, the doctor.
Of course.
Right. Like I'm not going to call him and go, hey, tell me what to do.
No, you got to justify where you're at.
Right. I'm like, hey, listen,
Yeah.
I've done X, Y, Z. I think if we do this and that, I think this is better. And oftentimes, like if he agrees with you, he'll give you the green light, which is
Yeah.
really cool. Like
It's reassuring. That
it
you know you're
is
doing.
very reassuring.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm on the right path here. Like we're going to be all right.
So people assume we fight fire every single day. Describe the majority of calls and the other things that the fire department does.
I mean, a lot of it is service calls. I want to say a lot of it, but just basic stuff. People fall down, you help them up. A lot of the elderly population have trouble moving around, even in their own house. So, if they need to get from, say their living room to their bedroom for their loved ones that they can't lift themselves, we'll get called out for those types of things. And amongst all the other stuff, like all the things that you've mentioned, right? We also come out for fire alarms, smoke alarms, you name it.
Gas leaks.
Gas leaks. I
Yep.
mean, water calls, you name it. I mean, anything happens, we'll be there.
Or just if people call 911, we have to show up anyways to prove whatever happened.
Right.
That's something people don't realize. People always think like, oh, it's a real emergency, but people will call 911 for any situation, justified or not.
Right.
But we have to respond
We
because
have
the
to
one time we don't, it's a real situation and we neglected
Right.
the oath that we're trying to uphold, right? These are things that I want the general public to realize because they just think Chicago fire, we're just fighting fire every day. Every
No.
call's a fire. And it's just like, no, I just had to pick up the same person 5 times this week
Right.
because they continuously call 911, right? So it's a myth, and you argue against this myth. People say that rescues don't catch fire.
Yeah, it's totally a myth.
It is a myth. So break that myth for us.
So again, my career, very fortunate. Like
Of course.
all the pieces
I wish
in the
I
right
had
place.
your career. Yeah.
My rescue lieutenant was a single cert medic. So for a time there, they were hiring single certs back in the day, whatever.
Explain what that means.
So they were paramedic only, not fire. So
Yeah.
we have 2 places you can be as a paramedic. You can be on the engine or you can be on the rescue. In order to be on the engine, you need to be also a fire certified.
Yep.
Right. So she gave me the freedom. She was incredible. Shout out to Nancy, my old lieutenant. She knew that I like to be a fireman, and I think as time went on, I enjoyed being a medic, and I think I was a pretty great medic at my peak, right? When I
course.
was doing it every day,
Yeah, in the thick of it.
And basically being on that rescue, we're on the road all the time. So anytime any fire came out that we were close to, like she would
Jump
be
it.
like, hey, do you want to jump this? I'm like, yeah, of course. We get there, she would set up either rehab or assist the other rescues that are already there. And I would bunk out and just go find a crew that I knew and go work with them and assist any way I could.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of fire off that rescue.
Which is awesome.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was fighting to get a water can on that thing. They told me no, because rescues don't fight fire.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, pull my record, dude. Like, I
Yeah.
will use this water can.
Let it rip.
Yeah.
So for me, again, as the EMT, typically I was driving the ambulance, right?
Mhm.
And I would ask the medic, hey, let's jump this call. And a lot of times they're just like, they're so, we got so much work to do. They got reports and everything else. I'm like, I'm the one driving. So
Yeah, oops,
this is
made
where
a
I'm
wrong
going.
turn.
So I would try to jump calls. And then obviously there's protocol of the first unit there, the most senior guy has to set up command and search and everything else. And
Hmm.
these are responsibilities that captains have, or maybe lieutenants. Not necessarily the one guy in the rescue that happens to be stuck with me driving, right? But
Hmm.
I would definitely try to jump calls
Yeah,
to catch fire, but it almost never happened.
yeah.
So now at this point in your career, you're in special operations. Everyone thinks of military when they hear, special ops and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Describe what that means in the fire department.
It just means just a higher degree of training. So we get trained in a multitude of different things, but essentially we have certain units at certain stations designated to do certain jobs. And on one of those, that's where I'm assigned.
Yeah. So describe the special ops apparatuses.
So you have the giant special ops umbrella, and under it you have multiple different programs. So I am under the heavy rescue hazmat program. So that's kind of where I live. There's also the truck program, there's a marine program, there's the SWAT medic program, and you know, prevention, I believe. So
Exactly.
there's different branches.
These are all super specific,
Yeah,
skilled personnel.
very. So a lot of classes involved, a lot of time. Um, it's a big investment,
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah. You're committed.
You're committed.
Describe why a heavy rescue is very different, obviously from a normal rescue, which is an ambulance, but
Mhm.
describe why it's different from an engine or a ladder.
So the heavy rescue in Hillsborough County, we have two of them. So we have a west side unit, that's the one I'm on. We have a east side unit. Um, the heavy rescue is a big tool truck. There is not a pump on there. There's no water. There's no hose. It's equipment. So anything that you need big equipment for, complex situations, complex calls, that's what that truck is used for. So we respond to all hazmat, structure fires, gas leaks, technical rescue, rope rescue, trench rescue, you name it. So it's a lot of disciplines
Yeah.
wrapped up in this big tool truck. And I always say like the most valuable tools on that truck are the guys,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to be a force multiplier. And you have to be a problem solver.
Exactly. In order to deploy all these really cool tools, right?
Right.
So I'm not going to read your entire resume. You were polite enough to get it to me,
Yeah.
but you have over 10 certs, give or take, almost a dozen. Explain what. So we're just going to talk about some of them
Sure.
because these are like really cool classes, and this is what I want people to know about special operations within the fire department and the capabilities that every fire department should have. So explain what rope rescue is, when it's used.
So rope rescue in the fire department aspect is just used as as a tool to rescue somebody, whether it be down a ravine of some sort, window washer, working on an antenna, whatever it may be.
Yeah, high rise
High
building,
rise
people on
building,
roofs.
people on roofs, things like that. So you can utilize rope in order to, get the job done, whatever job it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
If you've never really messed with rope, it's very cumbersome. You don't know, like, what do you mean I could twist double here and come out there and that does this, right?
yeah,
So we go through these classes from a very crawl, walk, run perspective of like, this is a rope, right? This is how you do this. And it just builds upon it, builds
yeah,
upon it. And you don't come out of those classes like a rope guru by any means, right? Like, that's on you.
yeah.
You
Keep
just
trying.
leave with enough to where you can get started.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Explain why rope is a force multiplier, or how at least it could be used as one. Because people don't realize, they just think of rope, they think of like stuff around their house or like something silly. But you guys are able to rig up where you can lift things way heavier
Oh, yeah.
that a normal human can't pick up. Kind of explain how that stuff works. People don't realize.
Right. So, I mean, you're using complex systems, right? So you're throwing pulleys, you're making uh, mechanical advantages,
Yeah.
right? So for us, we won't put more than 600 pounds on rope. That's just kind of like,
The limit.
that's the limit, that's the line.
Yeah.
So you figure that's enough leeway in order to send a rescuer down, grab somebody, and either bring them up or take them down to the ground, whatever it may be.
Yeah. So you're also a VMR tech.
Right.
Explain what VMR stands for and what that means and what you do.
VMR, vehicle and machinery rescue. So car accidents, I'm sure everybody's seen it, Jaws of life, all that good stuff. So Hillsborough County is very unique in this aspect too. I don't know if you knew this. Every engine has extrication equipment.
We do too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
stand by it. Everyone should.
yeah, everyone should. All the trucks have it, and then obviously the heavy rescues have it. And that's one of my favorite subjects. I love it. Like
Yeah.
extrications are great. Just they're very technical, right? Like especially none of them are the same. I've ran tons of extrications. I've cut up hundreds of cars in training, and just being on these calls, no two are the same, right? Like the metal is different depending on the mechanism, where the impact is, where the patient is,
Airbags.
airbags, if they have secondary entrapments, right? Because the door could be pinned, right? But that's not the problem,
Yeah.
right? Like it's the door, and also it's the dash, and also it's the whatever.
Explain just a little of the complexities of like what rolling a dash is or how to get someone out.
Yeah. So like, I'll give you a good one. We had one a while back. Uh, Head-on collision, 350, like excursion, like that type,
Big SUV.
big SUV versus like a Cutlass Supreme type of vehicle. Head on, probably about 50 miles an hour or so. Driver of the sedan is pinned, and when they hit, it kind of ricocheted and like hit a tree. So it was kind of there's just a bunch of impact on that
Yeah.
area. Those cars are built very well, as you know, right? Just hard
Yeah.
metal.
Bathtubs.
Bathtubs of metal, right? So we get our tools, and luckily we had our heavier tools. And even then, like I had to go through part of the firewall to give me a push point to be able to separate it out because it was so compact. And the thing is, especially when it comes to VMR, like you need to have a strong base, right? If I want to move this piece of metal, I need something to push off of, right? And like when there's so much damage, sometimes there is none. So you just have to find another way in. And that's what I ended up having to do. And yeah, so that got the door open. So then to our surprise, there was a secondary entrapment. And normally the way our crew runs, whenever we run an extrication, we get somebody inside. They start doing the inside work, whether that's cutting away airbags, checking on the patient, getting something,
Yeah.
right?
Providing medical, C-spine, something.
Whatever,
Yeah.
whether it's getting an IV or they're using tools on the inside to lift the dash
Yeah.
and get the patient off,
Definitely.
right? So I've been inside lifting a dash. My captain has been outside opening the door, and we're both simultaneously accomplishing the
Working
same
in
thing.
unison, which
Right.
is really, really neat.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 ways. I mean, people say there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. There's
Yeah.
1,000 ways to tear up a car.
Oh yeah.
It's really, really neat. So people love to hear jaws of life and stuff. And it's really cool to see them be executed, right?
Mhm.
We don't have to get too deep into like crazy stories, but if you were to describe the most amount of damage you've seen in a car where people still walked away. So not terrible stories, but like a pretty happy one, I guess, where you were just like, how are these people okay?
Oh, I got a few of those.
Yeah.
But one that stands out very early in my career, probably about 2 years on the job, been at Station 4 for a while, have ran a few extrications, like wasn't great, but I understood what I needed to do for the most part. Yeah, toned out on this call. I was there on overtime, and I remember because I wasn't with my crew. Station 4, here's the station, and then the interstate entrance is right up the road. So you're on that interstate in 2 seconds. As soon as we get there, there's a minivan. All the windows are gone, just blown out. And it's sitting, what are we? Eastbound. We're sitting eastbound. It's taken over like 2 lanes. And there's a kid standing outside. And he must have been, I don't know, 14, 15 years old or something like that. And he is just covered in blood. Damage to the vehicle was outrageous. And I remember like I walked up to him, and our crew split, right? Because there's other vehicles, and it was a quick triage to see what was going on. And I
Yep.
come up to him and I talked to him, and I'm like, "Were you here? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." He's like, "I don't know where this came from." And he was restrained passenger. He was sleeping, I guess, or driving somewhere. And
Wow.
yeah,
Completely fine.
family was okay. Everybody else was okay. But ultimately, like just looking at that carnage, and you look at the patient and you go, "Whoa, like,
What are the odds he's
what
fine?
are the odds that you're just standing here?"
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was a pretty good scene,
Yeah.
you know?
It's hard to imagine because you have to be prepared for these really bad situations and how to tackle them, right? If
Right.
you still got to get them out and now it's search and rescue and everything else. So um, it's kind of a heartwarming story to find out that like sometimes they're just fine
Yeah,
and the vehicle did its job.
for
So
sure.
uh, people don't think of trenches in Florida, but you're a trench tech
Yeah.
and confined spaces. Describe when these are used in the fire department, what that means.
So when they're putting in whatever construction, they have to dig out a trench for whatever reason. I'm not a big trench guy.
Yeah.
Um, we've been brought up to speed as far as how we would operate if we needed to. And that's the thing, right? It's always being prepared. And I don't think any of these calls, when they do come out, they're going to go textbook because it's one of those things you're just not doing them all the time. You can train and you can prepare, but once it's game time, you really don't know. As you know, you're running calls, you don't know what to expect.
Nope.
You're giving them minimal details and told to hurry up and get there.
Yeah.
You
There is
know?
no textbook.
Yeah, there is. I
Yeah.
mean, like, so as far as trench goes, I mean, people don't realize how heavy dirt is, right? Like, dirt is very heavy. And I didn't know that until I took that class. And we were in the trench and they said, hey, like, check this out. We're going to drop some dirt here. I want you to see what that feels like. And you're like, oh, you can get stuck fast,
Yeah.
very
Incredibly
fast,
fast. Yeah.
incredibly fast. And it's incredibly difficult to get you out once you are stuck. So we would come in if there's a trench, and we put up these boards and they're very strong. They're called thin boards. And we pressurize them with struts,
Very
right?
cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Like you're
You're creating a tube.
creating a tube, right?
Yeah.
And you're just creating a base just to stop the dirt from moving, because that's ultimately what's you even have to start thinking about things like crush syndrome, right? If you're there for longer than 6 or 8 hours,
Yeah.
because it may take that long to get somebody out,
Mhm. Definitely.
As far as like confined spaces go, any of these big industrial places you see around Tampa or St. Pete, all those places have to get cleaned, right? Those stacks get cleaned, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Air vents, all
air
sorts of
vents,
stuff.
all
Yeah.
those
Sewers.
sewers. So these guys are going in and doing their jobs, and sometimes things happen. So
Yeah, you
we
get
have to
stuck.
go in and get them. And whether it's rescue or recovery, that kind of dictates which way it goes.
Definitely. So you're a part of Task Force 3.
Mm-hmm.
Most people in the state of Florida have no idea what it is, that it exists, what its purpose is.
Yeah.
Explain what that is and when it's used.
So the state of Florida has, I believe, 8 task forces spread around the state. And essentially they're just used as emergency response units for natural disasters of any kind. So Miami, for example, right? Task forces were utilized for that. Hurricanes always get utilized for that. Task Force 3 historically has gone out. They went out to Katrina and Andrew down in Miami. And, it's your urban search and rescue group made up of the multiple fire departments across the state. And I believe the way it goes is all of these guys, you have to get all the special operations classes in order to qualify to meet the criteria to get on any task force or be recommended for a task force. And then that task force then sends you out for classes, and then you bring that back. And now you are an asset of sorts.
Very neat.
Yeah.
So a lot of agencies involved.
A lot.
Yeah. So explain, if you're activated, explain what unity of command is and how that works, because you're working with guys that you may have only met
Once
or never met.
never.
You may have never met these guys,
Yeah,
and you gotta work
so
with them.
they'll break you up, and that goes into the whole ICS structure of command and groups and bosses and squad bosses. So essentially, they'll grab me and go, "You're a rescue specialist. We need 3 rescue specialists, and that's gonna be your boss over there. You're crew A. Now you're crew A." And then they'll give you an assignment. Crew
Yeah.
A, I need you to go search a 1600 block.
Go.
Go. Here's a boat, or here are directions.
Yeah. Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Very wild.
Yeah.
So explain what unity of command is.
What is it?
Unity of command.
So unity of command, it's basically when you got the sheriff's office or whoever is the authority having jurisdiction, whoever's running point, then they'll unify with the fire department side. In this case, it would be the task force 3 leader.
Yeah.
And all the heads of all the agencies are there.
Come together.
Come together, work as one.
Yeah. Which is crazy because people don't realize the National Guard could be involved.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts.
Florida wildlife, like
yeah, fish and game.
yeah,
And then it could be city departments, county departments, city
Everybody.
police, county police,
Right.
Florida Highway Patrol.
Everybody.
But then everyone has to come up to one person
Hmm.
making the decision, and that's unity of command. That it just follows this funnel.
Right.
It's really neat,
It's neat.
and it's weird to
Once it
find.
works, but
Yeah,
I'm not saying it doesn't.
it's
It's just
difficult.
it's constantly evolving, right? Like you're the first unit on scene, you're not going to have that. You're not going to have that by the 20th unit. You might have it somewhat set up,
Yeah,
down the line, because as more people roll in, more assets roll in, then you have to move
they
and
start to get
designate,
stacked.
and you right.
Yeah,
So it's a constant cycle of just adjusting, right?
because who makes the decision? Is it the fire chief? Is it the chief of police? Is it the head of the National
Is it the
Guard?
governor?
Is it the
Like,
governor? Yeah,
right,
it's very confusing, and that's why it's so important that
right. At
these
my
work.
level, like it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
I just need to know what my task is and what specialty am I being used for, whether it's, search specialist or, like they have tons of different positions throughout the task
Sure, what you're
force.
told to do.
Right.
Have you ever been deployed?
No,
You
not yet.
haven't.
Not yet.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So explain. I mean, you could go as far as Louisiana. Could you go further?
Yeah, you could go further. So Task Force 3 is a level 2 team. So once you're a level 1 team, you're a FEMA team, and then that's
National.
national.
Yeah,
And even
including Puerto
worldwide.
Rico,
Right.
Guam,
Wherever they need you.
random places.
Right. So there's a few of them out there. I'm not sure exactly what the goal is, but I know Task Force 3 right now is thriving. Everything is great, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. It sounds like it's not activated very often,
It's not, but
so it has to be reserved for very serious stuff.
right.
It's a lot of moving parts,
A
a lot
lot
of
of moving
money.
parts, a lot
Yeah.
of money.
It's expensive, and then this money has to be allocated for this purpose,
Well,
right?
they used to like do grants,
Okay.
and that's kind of right with the whole Trump and
Yeah, where the money goes,
where the money's
or where it's
going.
coming from.
Right. So
Yeah.
that's kind of all up in the air as far as I know, to the
Yeah,
degree that I know it.
if it's federal or if it's state.
Right.
Do you get to train often as a task force?
No, not often, not as often as we like, but understand all of our members belong to our special operations group within the department, and we always are training. There's
Hold each
always
other
something, right? Like
accountable.
whether it's at the station, you could pop into any one of these stations, there's going to be something going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, now you're teaching.
Right.
Explain what you're teaching and what you enjoy the most about teaching.
So started teaching the truck program, which truck companies, we talked about them earlier a little bit. So search and rescue, forcible entry, fighting fire, uh, everything in between,
Okay.
right? So did a series of the truck program and then assisted with some of the special ops program, then put them through rope, put them through confined space. So we're waiting to secure funding for the next round because the whole fiscal year thing.
Yeah, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
What made you get into teaching?
Uh, It was one of those things, like, I knew I wanted to do it, I just didn't know where. So, I was waiting, I think once I hit my 8 years, I was available, like, one if you get your classes and stuff, then you're okay to teach, that's the
Yeah,
minimum
it's
that
kind of
they
like a tenure thing.
Right, and I waited just because I didn't wanna do fire academy, just I don't have anything against it, but it was just one of those things like, no, like, there's something else.
It's a different set of skills.
Right. And I kind of contemplated like EMT or paramedic, and timing just happened where we're revamping the truck program. And I was like, well, that's a sign if I've ever needed one.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
that went down that route.
Oh yeah. So we briefly talked about 24/48 schedules. So in the fire departments, you work 24 hours. Traditionally, you're off for 48. Things are changing. It could become 72 hours at different departments.
Hmm.
Explain how 24/48s work if you're also teaching.
So in our case, this was a little bit of a one-off, right? So we talked about it briefly that
Yeah.
the chief wanted to bring this program back. Not going to say it was abandoned, but other things took precedent, and that's okay,
Yeah.
right? But we got to a point where chief said, "All right, like I want to invest in our truck personnel and bring them up to the level that I know that they could be at." And yeah, just kind of went from there.
So, but explain your work 24 hours.
Oh, okay, my bad.
That's all right.
So, yeah, if I'm on A shift, I work 24 hours, my regular shift. B shift took off, right? handled whatever life things I needed to
Yeah,
handle.
groceries, you go home.
Right, shift prep, and then C shift I would teach.
How long do you teach for?
That depends, right?
Yeah.
Like the material has to get covered. So whether that's 8 hours, whether it's 10,
Could be all
it
day.
could be all day. Most of the time it was all day.
Yeah. And then typically you would go home.
Go
and
home at
then
night.
The next
take a
morning
shower.
day shift, you got to go back to
Yeah,
work.
I got to go back to work.
Yeah.
Right. So
people, a huge point I want to drive home. They think 24, 48, they think we're just 48 hours of just freedom. See, that's just what they hear. They hear these numbers of like, you work 3 days a week, this many days a month, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're not accounting like when you got to sleep.
yeah,
Well,
if you get to sleep.
If you get to sleep and then having to make up sleep and then driving to and from work, I'm like, the 48 hours goes like that. And you're working a lot. And then when you pick up teaching, paramedic school, part-time job, kids,
right.
I'm like, it's a full-time job. People, they consider the fire department part-time.
Yeah.
It's just a misconception.
It's a misconception.
It's a myth.
And the fire department isn't what it was, right? You're you're not running 5 calls anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
and it's becoming way more white collar, where between narcotics and everything else, you have to have all these different skills.
Right.
It's not just swing a hammer or swing an axe
right.
or drag a hose.
Yeah. We're kind of past that.
Yeah.
Right. Like maybe in the olden days, right, there wasn't that much, but
yeah, you would only fight fire.
Right.
But now
it's everything.
If they call 911 and you're not getting handcuffs, it's the fire department.
It's the fire department,
right?
Basically.
At least in my county.
They're not sending out a plumber.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's way more white collar, just highly specialized skills.
Yeah.
So how long is a typical course that you guys teach?
So some of them go by hours. So typically it's 40 hours for 1 week. So I believe rope operations is 80 hours total. Yeah. Rope operations is 40 and tech is 40.
Sure.
So you get
it could take a couple weeks to get through this class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're committed.
You are committed
of working your normal 24, 48s and teaching. An additional 80 hours in this time period.
Right.
A lot.
And you have a small cadre of instructors, right? Like it's not like, oh, I can call out and somebody's just going to pop in for me. It's like, no, you're it.
Yeah. There's only so many people that get this job done.
Right.
Exactly. You wrote February 24th, 2020. You wrote, it's useless unless you share it. Which is pretty wise when you really think about it. You've learned that you have to share these really, really unique, specialized skills.
You have to.
So dive into that.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not trying to hoard all this information to myself, right? Like, I've been extremely fortunate in my career and people have taught me a lot of things. And I feel like I just pass it on, man. Like, what am I going to do with all this? Right? Like, I don't need this for myself. You get what I'm saying? Like,
of course,
I'm not trying to feed an ego here or try to be that guy and like pounds his chest or any of that stuff. Like, no, dude, like if I know something that I'm better at than you and you want to learn it, I will teach you. And like, if you know something that you know better than I do, like I want to learn from you.
Exactly.
You know? And like, that's how we all move forward, man. And like, there was a lot of talks going on with the contract, like good little segue here. And guys were getting upset that other guys were making more money than they were. You know, like, well, first of all, he's been here for 20 years and right. Like there's a lot of things that went into that.
Yeah.
Right. And like, and also like, that's a good thing. You want the people above you to make more money because when you get into their shoes,
you want that money.
You want that money or even more by then. Who knows? Right. Like, you don't know the way that it goes. So I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the fire department, like I've said this before, like some of the best people I've ever met in my life, like just great human beings. And then simultaneously some of the worst, you know, crabs in a bucket type, you know, they see you climbing out, they see you trying to do something and they feel some type of way about themselves. So they decide to take it out on you. Like, I didn't do anything to you, man. I'm just trying to make it on my own, you know?
It's going back to your quote. It's useless unless you share it. It's this exact purpose of this entire project where I'm already having these conversations with you and every other guest or a lot of these guests, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's definitely helping other people if we could share what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's why it's being recorded and that's why I'm putting it out here. So you already answered, would you consider maybe teaching the fire academy in the future?
Maybe.
Or it's just, like I said, different set of skills you may not pursue.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people that can teach fire academy.
Yeah,
right.
But not many can teach special operations.
Right.
Definitely.
Like, and I don't mean to say that and come off some type of way because I try to be very humble about everything, you know? But that's just the reality, right? Like,
And you know what you know,
right. Like,
right? That's exactly what it is.
yeah.
Where these are the skills and these are the skills I
Like,
can help teach.
yeah. And like, this is my world, right? Like, I've been lucky enough to be in this world. And, you know, like I was just talking to my driver about it the other day. I'm like, getting on an engine or a rescue these days is very foreign. And not that it's not welcomed every now and again because it's cool. It's like, oh, let me, knock off the rust, you know?
Yeah.
The truck checkout takes a little longer because you're like, wait, where?
You forget where this stuff goes.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just don't live in that world anymore.
Yeah.
So,
It's just like comparing a high school teacher to an elementary school teacher. Elementary, they have to teach every subject. High school, I teach history.
yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
The students come and go. And that's just where you're at.
And that's where I'm
So,
at.
and that's just what I wanted to know about.
Yeah. And I
Um,
like it there, man. It's awesome.
exactly.
Like the truck program was really cool because like you're not teaching these guys to be truck firemen, right? Like you learn that riding that truck, being in that seat for years. You don't learn that in a class. All we're doing is we're giving you a playbook as far as skills go, mentality, right? Teamwork and leadership,
Yeah.
you know, and identifying who's strong at what and utilizing that to get the job done, whatever the job is.
It's like a sport.
It is.
You got a team
You
and these positions do
That's
these
what
jobs
I found that the guys that did team sports coming up,
way
they
better.
work out the best
Yeah.
because they understand it's not about them.
In most things,
Yeah.
in other jobs, other
Yeah.
sports, in family environments, and friendship environments, you could tell, all right, this kid had a huge family growing up. You know,
Mhm.
there's like this kid was a single child. Like you could just tell
Yeah.
this guy played team sports, this guy only played single person sport.
Yeah.
And it's highly evident,
Highly.
especially in the fire department, because it's about patient care at the end of the day.
Right.
That's the only reason we're here.
That's the only reason we have a job.
If there's no patient, what are we doing?
Right.
We're not just digging trenches for no reason
Right.
because the people digging trenches are the utility companies and they've got their own jobs, right?
Mhm.
We're only there for the patient, and patient care is paramount.
That's it. And that's why we preach so much like VMR. One of the big things we do is inside guy. Like you get somebody in there with a tool and they start peeking, peeling, removing plastics, right? Like you're searching, you're seeing where that entrapment is, if there is one, how we can attack it, right?
And medical.
And medical. Like
Yeah.
plenty of times we've gotten there, we've extricated the patient and immediately flipped the switch and became a paramedic because the rescue wasn't there yet.
And that's what the patient needed.
Right.
It wasn't to get out right this second, it was to stop the bleeding or whatever the hell's happening, right?
Right.
So, could you imagine doing any other job?
I've thought of one. I can't.
You have thought of one?
I've had the thought. I can't come
Oh,
up with one.
you can't come up with one.
No.
I was like, damn, I'm shocked. I thought you're committed. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I love it.
Hell
I love
yeah.
it. I have thought of, not being in Florida. I'm sure as most people do at times for whatever reason or another.
Sure.
But yeah,
I'll
I'm a
ask you
li-
about that in a little bit.
yeah, I'm a lifer, dude. Like
Hell yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. And that's what I expected,
Yeah.
especially for myself. That's what I wanted. I was looking at the next 30 years, right?
Yeah.
Several decades. Um, you brushed on it earlier. People don't realize what's a Kelly day or an R day. What is that?
So it's like a built-in day off into your schedule just to help you kind of reset because people don't realize you work those 24 hours. You may sleep, you may not. And the sleep that you do get, it's not peaceful sleep, right? Like you're sleeping with one eye open, just
Yeah.
waiting, right? You're at work, right?
24
So,
hours.
24 hours.
Yeah.
Whether
And there's a
you-
lot of shifts you quite literally work for 24 hours straight.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Easily. Like I've had plenty of times, especially like on the rescue back then, you're running 14, 15 calls. But if you do the numbers, man, you're like, we're at the station for less than an hour in a day.
Yeah.
In those 24 hours, like
Yeah.
cumulatively less than an hour in
There's-
that station just because you're running around everywhere.
There's times you don't even finish truck check.
No.
You're trying to eat lunch
Yeah.
and you haven't even finished truck check
Well,
and you
like
got to
the-
eat because you're dying, right?
Like one of the rules was like you'd come on and whoever was your relief, like whoever you're relieving, like it was just like, hey man, just leave me enough to run a couple calls.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be perfect.
Don't leave me stranded.
Don't leave me stranded because chances are you walk in, tones
Yeah.
are off, let's go.
Yeah, 7:40 and we're already hit.
Right.
Yeah.
So then when you check out the truck after that, I mean, green light go.
Because then you're getting hit from the hospital.
From the hospital on the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing ping pong. What do you enjoy most about the fire service?
There's a lot, man. I guess it's just the endless opportunity, right? There's always room to grow. You're never done, right? Like there is something that you don't know,
Yeah.
like, and there is somebody that knows something that you don't know, and they're just waiting to teach you. You just don't know, right? Like you can pull that thread as long as it goes for as long as you want. And if you get to the point where you feel like, okay, like I know everything and like I guess it's time to walk away.
It's funny that the exact way you said that, because my next question was, do you see yourself continuously promoting? Are you going to keep pulling that thread? Or do you think you might find, okay, I kind of like this position. I'm probably going to stay here for a long time.
Uh I
Whether
don't
that's
know.
driver or captain or chief
I
or,
definitely want to make captain.
yeah,
Like that's the goal for sure.
yeah. Because some people retire captain. Some
Yeah.
people try to keep going
And they
to
try to keep going.
this chief, that chief, whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'd
captain's the
say
goal.
captain for me. I just like to work, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've always thought of it like the one goal of my career is just like if there's a call that goes out and on our MDT, it's a system that shows us like all the info on the calls and stuff
Of
like
course.
that. Like once you start running these calls, you know who you're running with, right? Engine, whatever, whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like I want them like be like, oh, George is coming. Oh, he's on that unit. We're gonna be okay.
The reassurance.
The reassurance, right? Like
Yeah.
that's all I want, man. I just want to be a good fireman and just
I've
have a
been
good
there.
time and have a good crew and all go home, dude, and
Exactly.
just living it.
So two things. I've definitely been there where you see the unit coming and you're like, all right, cool. This
Right.
guy's on
It's
his
a
way.
good feeling. I've been there too.
And then there's other times you're like, crap, it's still up to you and me. Where I'm on a box and it's me and my medic, and
Mhm.
we're hoping that we're gonna get these, top notch 5 more medics coming in.
Yeah.
And we're just like, shit, we're getting an engine with 1 medic on it and
Yeah.
not who I would draft, right?
Right.
Um, the other thing I was gonna tell you, we've heard lead from the front for a really long time.
Mhm.
I've always taken this approach, whether it's from my dad or playing sports as a kid, where I would rather almost lead from within or behind
Mhm.
because it's the guys in the trenches that know what the hell's going on. And like my dad taught me really, really early on, he loves to read. And you've been able to kind of meet my dad, right? You've
Mhm.
been in his presence a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Super wise guy. He would read these books. If you read a war book from the perspective of a general, everything's like, these medals and valiant and honor and all these bullshit words, right?
Mhm.
And it's just like prestige and, they fought valiantly. Then you listen to the guy in the trenches and it is absolute hell.
Yeah, it's just
My
chaos.
friend's arm was blown off. I almost died. There was friendly fire. This guy exploded. We killed these civilians by accident. And it's just horror after horror after horror. And there's 2 different perspectives of the same story.
Mhm.
Who do you want to go to battle with? The guy that thinks it's all bright and shiny and doesn't know shit about what's actually happening, or the guy that's been in the trenches and says, this is how I survived and this is how I can get you,
Trenches all
hopefully,
day.
to survive. You
Yeah.
want the guy in the trenches. And that's what the best captains are. And that's what you just described. You want to be the guy working
Yeah.
at 40, 45, 50 years old, where you're just like, I know what's going on. And it'll get to the point where you could promote and be a chief,
Right.
but you're still that guy that has enough, experience.
And that's the big one, man. It's the experience, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of these guys, like they didn't get a lot of fire experience by like it's no fault of their own, right?
If I kept my trend by year 20, I would have 40 fires.
Oh.
If I kept my trend with just how little fire I fought,
Yeah.
be like, oh, I'm a 20-year firefighter. And I have less experience than you on your 3rd year
That's
with
wild.
the amount of fire that you probably saw. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I did my research. I'm just seeing picture after picture. I'm like, God damn, this guy's actually doing it, right? Imagine that. You could have a 40-year veteran firefighter that only has,
We have them, Thomas.
Yeah, 50 fires in his career.
We have them. So
Yeah.
like here's the issue, right? Like we have those people. They exist. They're in every organization. So the problem is it's how do you deal with that, right? So you got a couple avenues. So either like are they unaware that they're bad?
Or just inexperienced.
Just inexperienced?
Yeah.
Do they want to be good?
They might not know it
Right.
because they might think this is normal.
Right.
And then I'm like, holy crap, you're getting 3 fires a month.
Right.
I'm getting 1 fire a year.
So
Right.
the ones that you can't change are unwilling, right? If they're uneducated, you can fix that. They want to get better, you can fix that. Like that's
they're
easy.
motivated.
That they're motivated, right?
Yeah.
There's no barrier there. You can help them.
Definitely.
But if you're wanting to help them, but they don't see a problem, they're just unwilling to change, then there's nothing you could do about those guys.
Yeah.
They just, you know, unfortunately.
So you described year 4 on the job as 4 minutes and 4 lifetimes had passed by simultaneously.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
No.
Uh, I had the date. I don't see where I wrote the date. That was your year 4 on the job. You're about to approach year 10. Has it felt like 10 minutes and 10 lifetimes?
Yeah. It's been such a it's been a wave, man. Like I've had ups, I've had downs, and you get rolled a couple times, but you keep going, dude.
Yeah.
Like I I'm very aware that I've been very fortunate, right? So I know that's not the case for everybody, but I can say these last 10 years, like I made the right choice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Describe why it seems that time passes by different in the fire department.
Days aren't real. It almost seems, right? Like I'm on a ABC schedule in my head, whether I like it or not. Like I was out on vacation and I didn't have my phone on me and I just look at the date and I go, oh, I know it's this
Oh, it's C
shift.
shift.
Right.
Yeah, I
I
still
don't know.
got time.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
It's
time is
weird.
just, it is weird, man. Like, and I'm pretty good with time management. Like I try to start, whatever it is tasks wise that I have to accomplish. I write them down. I have field notes just like you,
Yeah.
and I try to get everything done early in the morning and all that good stuff. But even then it's just, I feel like life is on fast forward. I don't know if you feel that way.
It's it's weird. So it took me weeks, if not months. I still felt like I was on shift. Even now, I'm definitely rusty. It's been almost 2 years, about 2 years since I've been off from the department. I still feel like, okay, I got to get ready. I got to leave by 6:30 tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna be on this side of the county. Let me check telestaff. It's weird how it's just like once it's ingrained,
It's there.
I'm just like I genuinely feel like if you put me on a box tomorrow, I could get through. I could get through a shift.
Yeah.
Definitely rusty, but I'm just like you
The skills are
train,
still there.
you train, and what really sucks is I do feel my skills start to diminish.
Yeah.
Where it's just like I haven't held extrication gear in 2 years.
Yeah. But you don't have to,
I thankfully,
you
right?
know?
Knock on wood.
Yeah. But look at all the
Um,
other skills that you've picked up.
oh yeah, it's unreal.
Right.
But it's also the work ethic of like setting this stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked all these random jobs, you know that,
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
gyms and photography studio and stuff. And sometimes they're like, "Are you okay?" Like, "Yeah, what do you mean?" They're like, "You haven't stopped." And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm used to 24 hours." I'm
Yeah.
just
You're
like,
just going.
I was working on this at midnight last night. I'm like, it's whatever.
Time is whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's whatever the clock says. Doesn't really matter, right? I'll
Yeah.
get to it when I get to it.
Right.
Regarding sleep or shift change or whatever, it's weird. Like it really changes you. And I remember when I was still at the gym, going through the fire academy and stuff I just finished. I remember telling Rich, I was like, I can't turn this off. Of like certain things, like in the fire academy, you'd have to say like moving. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey, go
Yeah.
do this, and you're like responding or yes sir or Roger or whatever. I was
Mhm.
like, fresh out of the academy, I was like, I can't turn this off. He's like, why do you have to? Why should you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is very wise. Why should you get rid of all these incredible skills of time management and
They're
promptness?
great.
They're incredible,
Yeah.
right? And just being willing to work. My mom texted me yesterday and she's like, hey, like, I don't want to bother you, blah, blah, blah. She thought I was like, possibly asleep or whatever. I was up to the midnight working on this. I was like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. Yeah, it's weird where I definitely got that from the fire department, or at least it really ingrained it
Mm-hmm.
in me. What do you look forward to the most in your career?
Being able to to affect change, right, for the better. Like, very grateful for our operations chief that he came down and said, hey, like, this is where the standard is now, right?
Hell
And
yeah.
like, that's awesome,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Like,
what you want to hear.
right. It's like, I want the standard here. You guys go out there, make the standard here.
You only want the bar to be risen.
That's it.
Completely agree.
I want you pole vaulting over it, right? Like, whatever the bar is, I want to pole vault over it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for the people listening, I did only a handful of practice of these interviews and podcast episodes before anything went live. And you were, I think, number 2. I did 4 of them. You were the second one.
Nice.
I learned a lot just from that time. When you walked into today, you definitely saw I've completely risen the bar.
Yes.
Where I'm
Yeah,
just
I'd
like,
say so.
I want this to be the bare minimum. I only want to progress from here, where it's only going to be bigger sets, bigger lights, bigger everything, more cameras.
Yeah.
Where it's just like I'm not going to go backwards.
Yeah.
I'm like day one, 4K, 3 cameras, non-negotiable.
That's the standard.
And when I ran into problems, I had to get rid of these cameras. I had to buy this stuff. I had to change this. Where I'm just like, this is the bar, and it's only going to get higher. I'm only going to get more 4K cameras,
Mhm.
so on and so forth. And
Right.
it's reassuring that you live that, whether it's in the fire department or your personal life or
You
know,
try.
whatever it
I
is.
try. Yeah. And you do
Exactly.
too, man. Like
Yeah.
this is awesome. Like
Yeah,
from
I
the
appreciate
first
it.
setup,
Yeah.
looking at it now.
Wow, it took a lot
Can't
of
wa-
time.
All right, we're gonna do this 10 years from now. I want to see where you're at.
We'll do it in a year. Let's see what I can get in
All
a year.
right.
But yeah, 10 years,
Yeah,
I'm
the
game
top
for
of a
it.
skyscraper somewhere in Dubai or something. Who knows?
That's fine. Wherever I can fly out. So we talked a little bit about tough days at work.
Mm-hmm.
Describe a tough day at the fire department.
Tough day at the fire department is a day that you can't affect change, as far as whether that's for a patient or an outcome or a call, whatever, what have you. And that's the harsh reality, man. Like you can do everything right, right? You can do everything right, and that patient's still not going to make it, right?
Yeah.
You could do everything wrong, and that patient's still going to make it, which is crazy. I've seen it.
Yep.
And then no matter what you do, that patient's going to die. And you just have to accept that, right? Like that's a tough day, but it gets easier. You can't take it personal. It'll eat away at you.
Are there calls that have affected you at
The-
one point or another, whether it still does or
yeah,
not?
they have, but it wasn't like a shot through the heart, right? It was just like, that sucks. Like
This can be a tough
crummy
one.
mood for a few days, and
Yeah.
you have to make your peace with it,
Yeah.
right? Did you do everything that you could? Yes. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing else outside of that.
That's the acceptance you got to make.
Right. That's the deal, man. Like
Yeah.
as long as you know that you did everything in your power to correct the situation, like I can sleep with that. Like it
It's
sucks. It's never a good thing.
It's an important lesson to learn. It's one of those few lessons you can't really teach it.
Yeah, you
gotta
have to
learn
experience it.
Got to learn on your own.
Yeah.
One of the ones I've written about, it's like, I can't teach you patience, but I could teach you obedience.
Mm,
I could tell you sit in the corner, shut up and listen. That's obedience. But patience, you got to learn on your own. I just
right.
can't teach you what patience really is. And what I've tried to tell people when they've asked about the fire department, you don't pick which call might actually affect you.
No.
You don't get to choose. I ran dozens of Signal 7s and active codes that made it, codes that didn't make it, right?
Hmm.
I ran dozens of codes. That was just another call.
Right.
And then for whatever reason, code or Signal 737 hits you like a ton of bricks. And you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
You just don't get to pick.
You don't. And it's just one of those things, man. Like again, like you got to make your peace with it.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
How do you make peace with it?
you self-reflect. Is there anything I could have done better? Did we miss anything?
If there was something you could have done better, how do you prevent yourself from eating away at that?
We're all human, man.
Yeah.
We're all human. Right. And like, not to say, then this isn't a knock towards anything, but it's like you have these guys and they're getting run ragged. Like something's going to give. There's your result, whether you like it or not, whether
They're
it
gonna
wasn't intentional, like, right? Like sleep deprivation is a real thing. Like it does start like affecting your mind and your
Yeah.
capacity to be able to function.
Your hormones, your insulin,
Everything,
Yeah.
So
Because again, a big part of this project is people that are trying to accept it, but they know I made this mistake, I had this critical error, blah, 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 blah. That's when they fall into starting to drink, starting to abuse this drug, starting to do this
yeah.
activity.
Well, they need help, right? Like,
Yeah.
they need help, and sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow on its own, man. To look at yourself in the mirror and go,
I need help.
I need help,
And accepting it
right?
or knowing where to go.
Or knowing where to go,
And
But I think there also is the other side of it where it's like, all right, like that's enough, right? Like, stop it.
yeah, it's difficult. You're a very extremely strong person. People fall down that slope, and I've written about it, and they collapse down it. where they don't have that internal switch of saying like, damn, I need to stop. It's dangerous,
It
right?
is. I don't know how you live without it. And
Yeah.
like I'm almost on the other end of the spectrum where it's like I know that whatever happens, like I'm gonna be all right. Like I can pull myself out.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a superpower because like I've been in very, very, very terrible situations and very dark holes. And it's just like I've made my way out. But then that only like further solidifies my belief of like whatever comes, I'm gonna be fine.
I want to use the word integrity. You have like an integrity.
Yeah,
And I mean that in a really good way, where it's just like you have this feeling. It's almost like an intuition that some people don't have.
I guess, man. Like I don't
Right.
know. I feel like
Yeah.
I it's just one of those things. Like the experience that I've had of my life has taught me a lot about myself and a lot of self reflection, right? Like, and just knowing that that's a certain type of peace, right?
Definitely.
Like everything could be falling apart around me, but
How often do you self reflect?
almost every day.
Did anyone teach you that or you just kind of fell into it?
No, funny enough, it was my old boss before I left to go into the fire department. He basically told me that I was being a problem. And I was like, no, you're a problem. And he said, go look at yourself in the mirror and then come back and tell me that you're not a problem. And I was just like, ah, whatever, dude. I was 18, 19 years old, kick rocks. And then I did it. And some other words were said, right? But not to put it all out there as far as, his business, but that really kind of, it was almost like I turned a page, right? And it was just like, oh,
Wild, right?
yeah, like this is my fault.
Did you ever let them know?
I did. I did. I still
Cool.
talk to him to this day.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
a birthday coming up, so I'm gonna go see him.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I
awesome,
know
good guy.
you haven't seen the episode yet, but the first episode of the podcast was with Mike De La Pava,
Mhm.
the strength coach. I've told you
Yeah,
about him.
yeah.
I think you've met him before. And we addressed that where I learned that in a similar way. And it was actually in college. My actual assignment was to look in a mirror and write down what I saw.
Oh, really?
Like that was the literal assignment. And I'm just fortunate. I'm just like lucky that like I was right around the same age. I was like 18,
Mhm.
maybe 19 when that happened. It's a really powerful
Yeah,
lesson.
and I think it's almost like a responsibility, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't be a man and not look at yourself and say, "I got shit I need to work on."
Yeah.
Nobody has to tell you this. You know, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't wait for anybody to tell you. Just do it. And that's advice that you can carry over even to the new guys coming into the fire department. If you know something has to get done, just do it. Just do it. You're an old guy on the job, fucking just do it. Trust me. Trust me. Like, it's better for everyone.
How does a firefighter avoid getting salty?
I feel like that's a very individual perspective. Like, as far as like they put too much on just the fire department, right? Like it's personalities, it's perspective,
Personal life,
personal life,
hobbies.
hobbies, whatever it may be. I think it all kind of gets kind of overrun with it just being the fire department, but and it is right. Like there are certain places where it is, and certain times where it is. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna have those times in your career, but I also think like if you want to change your situation, like change your perspective, right? Like if you're looking for bad, you're gonna find it, but if you're looking for good, you're gonna find it. I mean, I'm sure you've bought a car or something like that. You're researching something, you start seeing it all over the place.
Yeah.
Why? Why are you noticing it? Because you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Perspective change.
perspective change,
Oh yeah.
and for the guys out there that are stuck somewhere, like I would say, hey man, like move houses, move a firehouse, move a shift, move a department, right? Like if you're not happy, move.
Yeah.
Like nobody's gonna stop you.
Yeah. I've definitely posed those questions to myself if I were to switch departments or something. I
Mhm.
don't regret anything at all. I'm definitely not saying that. Um, I think that in another reality or another dimension could have been what
Yeah.
worked best for me. But I do truly feel like hopefully this is my true calling,
Yeah.
this whole project, right?
Dude, it looks awesome. Like the amount of work that you've put in.
Yeah.
Like,
I appreciate it.
yeah, you look happy, dude. Like,
Thank you.
yeah, looks good. It's a good look.
Thank you. Yeah. I kept the mustache, kept
Yeah.
the fire look.
I like
But
it.
I had a couple questions left for you. If you could only change one thing about the fire department, for whatever reason you wanted, what would you change?
Oh, they're not gonna like this one.
It's your change.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
If I could change anything, I would find a way to grab the guys who are the best and give them a way to better affect change.
Tell me how.
So, as far as like you were on the job, so you understand this. There are guys that are not high performers,
Yeah.
right? There are non-high performers in leadership roles. I want them out. I want all the high performers in leadership roles. And that's how you create an army of just badass, like the best firemen, the best paramedics, the best anything. You need good leadership. And not to say that we don't have good leadership, but in the past we haven't had good leadership, which has led to problems. I
Yeah.
feel like everything is correcting. But in Georgia's fire department, I don't care if
That's
you
how we
have
run.
right, you have 5 years on and that guy has 20. Like you are self-motivated, you are intelligent, you are trainable, you are trained. Like let me put you in a position to affect change and bring this upon others.
You hit the nail on the head. And we talked about this briefly before where you could be a 20-year firefighter and only have 20 fires under your belt.
Yeah.
Where on paper, 20 years looks great. But in actuality, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
It
it's
might
your
not be
rookie
the
year 20 times.
exactly. It might not be the right person for the right job right
Mhm.
now.
Right now.
That could change.
And again, man, like as long as they're willing to get better,
Yeah.
like that's a huge step.
Do you
Right?
know Adam Grant, Dr. Adam Grant?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, super famous guy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes. He said, "Motivation is malleable."
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's genius because if you have motivation, you can mold it to high performing to do this, to do that, but you could also kind of like bleed. I could I could receive your motivation when I'm surrounded by other people like
Mhm.
you. Like motivation's valuable. It could change shape and form and stuff.
Right, right.
Really brilliant when you think about it, right?
It is. It's really awesome. And it's just like energy, right? Just good energy. Just being around people that have good energy. And more often than not, your high performers have good energy,
Yeah.
right? Just as people,
And
not as
motivation.
and motivation, just naturally, not even putting them in leadership position or spotlight, right? Just naturally, you throw them into the room and people gravitate towards them. Why? Because they have good energy, they have good perspective, good people,
Good mojo.
good mojo.
What's the first thing a new firefighter should learn?
How to become an asset. You want to be an asset,
Well
right?
said.
Like you don't want to be the guy on your captain's hip, just a ball and chain, right? You want to be able to assist him and you all assist each other. He assists you, the driver assists you both, right? Again, back to the team. So, yeah, be a teammate, right? Be an asset, don't be a liability.
Oh yeah. Free time is incredibly important.
Hmm.
Tell me about your 48s.
Long, long. Uh, have some free time, but I'm always doing something, right? Like right now, we got two of our guys that we put through the special operations classes. We're starting them out in there. So now that they're back at the station, now we get to train with them, right? Because we have a ladder at our station as well. So we kind of go back and forth. And this entire time, we've kind of been gone. So it's been kind of like we're here for part of the day and then we're out. So just kind of getting back into the mix of, just being a firehouse, man. Like
Yeah.
a firehouse should feel like a firehouse. Families come by, whatever it may be.
Yeah, you live there 1/3 of your life during that point of your career, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like this last week, I worked 2 48s. So I worked Monday, Tuesday, off Wednesday, then worked Thursday, Friday. So I was there 4 out of 5 days. It was a blur. And it's crazy. Like, do you ever do a 48 in the same house?
Yeah.
What a change, right? Like when the shifts change, like the walls are the same, but that is not the same place.
I could one up you. It'll never happen again. I was paying back a swap and on A shift because I was assigned a B shift. So worked A shift. And then when B rolled around, they're like, oh, he's already there. Just leave him there. We don't have to float him.
Right.
So I worked the 48, no hitter,
What?
48 hours straight.
Oof. Done that. That's long.
You have done that?
I've done that.
It's rare as hell.
Yeah.
I've talked to other friends. They're like, you did not run a call for 48 hours?
I didn't tell you. My very first shift was a no hitter.
Ever?
Ever. My very first shift, the
See,
shift that I showed up at like 6:45 at the door to clean the
Yeah,
station.
yeah.
Yeah, that shift
Uh,
didn't run a damn call. Didn't know what the tones sounded like until like my second shift.
It's like Pulp Fiction where you're like John Travolta. You're like, what the hell am I doing around
dude,
here?
I swear it was like 10:30 and I was out in the bay. I'm
What do
like
I
reading
do?
in like a foam bucket and like the chief goes out to his car. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, I don't know.
I'm
He's like,
supposed to be working.
go to bed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can go to bed. I'm
Yeah.
like, cool.
Weird.
Yeah.
I didn't run a night call, like a call like that would wake us up until like my 3rd or 4th shift.
Oh,
So when I
wow.
started, I'm like, oh, this is great.
Oh, this is not bad.
Yeah. And then my first night call, my the guy that was orientating me opens the door and is like, Tom, you gotta go. I wake up, I'm like, oh, okay. I get in the truck. I had no idea I slept through the tone. I'd never heard a tone before.
Oh, man.
And I just thought he's waking me up. And then after the call, he pulls me to the side and told me, I didn't know. If you didn't tell me, I honestly had no idea I slept through the call, through the tones. And obviously I was a new guy. They didn't have to go get me, but they had to make an example out of it. Obviously I never did that again, but I was like, this was my first one. I just had 3-4 shifts or whatever it was. With
you had no idea.
I didn't realize it wouldn't wake me up. I mean, this thing's loud as hell and the lights go off. Like I thought it was gonna be pretty straightforward.
I slept through calls. I
Yeah.
slept through tones
It
before.
happens to
It happens to
everybody. Yeah,
everybody. It
exactly.
sucks.
Especially when you're just that exhausted,
Mhm.
right? So, you love to travel.
Yeah.
Tell me more about your traveling.
Been real big on the West Coast. Real big.
I see that.
We just got back from Washington, 3rd year in a row. I had some unfinished business up there, man. Like big on the trails and stuff like that. So the wife and I go out, grab a van, and has like all the amenities.
Yeah, amenities.
That you need,
Yeah.
like everything but like an actual like real shower. But we have like a shower kit and like places that we stayed at. We would get showered up and just a bunch of hikes, man. It was incredible. But the last couple of years, we were trying to summit this hike on Mount Rainier, but there was still snow. And not like a little bit of snow. Like I'm a Floridian, dude. Like I'm from California originally, but like I
Yeah.
consider myself Floridian. I've been here so long. And like we get up there and we maybe had, I don't know, maybe like a quarter left of this trail. And we hit the spot, dude. And it was like waist high snow. And like this is early May. And we're like, what are we doing
How?
here? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like this is the second year
This
in a
was
row.
weeks ago?
No, this was
That was a year ago.
Yeah, the year ago.
Yeah.
But it was the same trail that we tried the first year, tried the second year.
Yeah.
We just couldn't get to it because of the snow, right? Timing that we went, all of that or whatever. But finally got it done this year. Epic views, worth the wait.
Hell
like,
yeah.
amazing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man, it was awesome. We were up there. Like it's very freeing, no reception, no nothing. And you just live like they used to, you tell people and they're like, you didn't have a phone? Like, what if whatever? And I'm like, what if whatever,
Yeah,
dude?
you
Like,
figure it out.
yeah, we'll figure it out. Like, it'll be fine.
So you kind of just answered it. What makes you love the Pacific Northwest? Is that it? The freedom?
The freedom of it,
Yeah.
and like the nature is incredible. Like, big mountain guy, not huge on the beaches just because I live here. So I don't know. I feel like I take them for granted almost,
Yeah.
you know?
No, that's true.
Like, if I lived somewhere else and then I came to Florida, I'd be like, oh my God, the beaches are incredible. But
Yeah.
just been here so long.
Tell me more about extended van trips, what it's like living out of a van.
It's fun, dude.
You just rent them, right?
Yeah, so just rent a van, and they're pretty big. It sleeps like 4,
There's only 2 of you.
and there's only 2 of us, so it's
Yeah.
plenty of room to get around. Got our luggage, got food supplies. You almost feel like a rebel. You're like, I'm not part of the matrix. Like I'm just driving around and being a beach bum and hiking and
Yeah.
hanging out and just being out in nature is very primal. Like
Would you move out there?
I would.
That'd be during your career or after?
I don't know.
Tough one.
Tough one.
Yeah.
I would like to get property up there at least at some point,
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't know what the future holds, but if I could lock down a little corner that I need, right? I don't need 1,000 acres or anything,
Crazy.
remotely crazy. I just little plot of land, dude, and
Yeah,
have it
time
just-
yourself.
Yeah, it's just peaceful out there, like just very peaceful.
So you've been there a couple times.
hmm
What's one place you want to go to that you haven't been yet?
Canada. I want to do Canada. I've been tempted to do Canada just because we've been so close each time. Like
Yeah.
30 minutes, I'm at the border, but I feel like I want to do Canada on its own.
Yeah.
You know,
You really like mountains.
I really like mountains.
Yeah.
Not big for big water stuff. Like I'm good with water. Like it's cool, but I don't know. I guess just living in Florida and
Change of
just
pace.
Change of pace.
Would you do something like South America?
Oh yeah.
You do mountains down there.
So I was actually talking to my mom. We're kind of trying to plan this trip to Machu Picchu. It's like a 4-day hike overnight. And
yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be really
I
cool.
was told recently, I don't know if this is true, I didn't look it up, but supposedly their government is going to start stopping those tours. So
Really?
there's only
They
so many years left.
they did stop them like a couple
Yeah.
of years ago because I've been looking into it and like doing the research for it.
Yeah.
And they did stop them at some point. And like at some point, like tourists got trapped over there. And
Yeah.
that's kind of why I haven't pulled the trigger on it because I'm like, it's a little dicey. Incredible views. Like I've done all the research and
Yeah.
looked at all the things. And yeah, man, big mountain guy and just it's cool being out there, man. Like it's hard. Like some of the trails aren't easy, but it's like that's the price for admission, right? Like I am grateful I am fit enough to do it so
You have
I
to
can
earn it.
see it. Yeah, you have to earn it,
Yeah.
right? Like you can see the pictures,
Can't
like
give it away for
you
free.
can't, but being there, it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your hero?
Ooh. I don't know if I have one, Thomas. I'll
I
be
gotta
honest.
hit you from left field. I
No,
can't-
it's all good, man. I don't know if I have one.
No.
The closest thing would be, not to sound so cliche, but like my grandfather, just because he helped raise me,
Not
man's
cliche at all.
man, man's man. He wasn't about no gains. He wasn't about any bullshit. Like
Tell me about him.
very, not stern in a bad way, but just very, hey, this is all I'm giving you. Like there's no fluff.
Yeah.
Right. So it was very direct to the point, but he also knew how to balance that with like, come here, knucklehead. Like,
Yeah.
stop
Compassion.
yeah.
Yeah. He
compassion.
wasn't just hard on you for no reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it was a lesson.
Boundaries.
Boundaries. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Very good about management as far as like tasks and things. Like he was never lazy, but you always saw him napping. Right.
Yeah.
So he knew enough, like all my stuff, whatever task I have to do, I'm going to complete X, Y, Z, but rain or shine, like at noon, I'm going to go close my eyes for 25 minutes. Like that was his deal. Right. So
He earned it.
he earned it, right? Like, and he did. He was busy. He was doing stuff. But
Yeah.
I saw it from an early age. Like, you can't run at 9,000 RPM every day, day
No,
in and day
burns
out.
you
It's
out.
not realistic, right?
Yeah.
So even just watching him, like, he'd be busy, accomplish whatever tasks, and he'd go and lay down. And
How
then
are you? How are you like him?
I'd say I'm like him in the way that I approach things and the way that I deal with people, right? Just because he was the prominent male figure in my life, growing
Mhm.
up. And very no frills, just, I'm going to tell you what I think and you're not going to like it. And that's okay.
Yeah. Honesty.
Like, I'll hug you anyway. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to like it.
How could other people or people in general be more like him?
You can just say things. Just say what you feel, right? And understand that what you feel is true in that moment, but it may not be true everywhere else. So also know yourself and control yourself and know that your words have consequences.
Be authentic.
Be authentic.
Yeah. And genuine.
Like, don't suppress it, but also you don't have to be mean about it.
Yeah.
You can be honest. And if it's unintentionally mean, well, I'm sorry, but we're all adults here. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings.
Yeah. That's who you are in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And you
who
got to
you
grow
are.
from it.
Right.
Is there a teacher or instructor that really left an impact on you?
I've had so many.
Pick one.
All right. I got one. I won't name him.
That's fine.
I respect, but he was a captain that I had, and he was absolutely the worst leader I've ever seen. Just as far as dealing with people, which is a big part of
The
just
job.
the job and just in life in general. Like if you don't know how to deal with people, you're going to have a bad time everywhere you go,
Yeah.
And just everything was a move in order to make himself step up and get whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Right. And very self-serving.
Crabs in a bucket.
Crabs in a bucket, one of those types,
Yeah.
right? Just very self-serving. And it was so bad that it was just like, okay, I know what not to do.
I was just about to say it's a powerful lesson where the big takeaway is now I just know not to do that
Yeah.
because it taught you a huge lesson. So you could learn leadership from positive leadership, or you can learn it from the complete opposite.
You could learn at any time.
Yeah.
And that's up to you.
Really neat, right?
Yeah. It's really cool. Like,
Not enough people do that.
no.
That's the thing.
No, everybody thinks they're hot shit, Thomas.
Where they just like, oh, this sucks. And it's like, no, it's like, well, now I know the opposite. So whatever they're doing,
Don't do that, and you're
do
gonna
the
be
opposite,
you're gonna be all right.
You got 50% of the question, you know,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the answer. So it's really powerful.
Yeah.
And people need that mindset, and hopefully this can help.
Mindset's a big one, man. And like like if I could say one thing, like not every day is like that. And you're gonna have the days, but it's just like you come back, right? Like you
Yeah.
just keep going, right? Stack one day into two, two into three, three into four, and next thing you know, bro,
Keep it
like
rolling.
you keep it rolling. Momentum is difficult to build, but it's not as hard to maintain.
What advice did you wish you had sooner?
Hmm. Life's gonna pass by faster than you think.
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Your first 4 years.
Yeah. Uh, wish I didn't take for granted the smaller moments, right? Whether that's hanging out with your friends or your family or whatever. Like those moments that you're out and sometimes you don't want to go and you're like, oh, can I just like not go because XYZ and I'm tired? And those moments matter, right? Like
Yeah.
enjoy those more, be more present. So that's what I'm trying to do now. It's just wherever I'm at, that's where I'm at. Like not on
Big
my
one.
phone. Like I'm at where I'm at.
Do you think you would have learned that at this age of your life, regardless of your job, or do you think the fire department had a role in teaching you that?
No, I think it definitely had a role. I think I've definitely had to grow up faster,
Yeah.
you know? And one thing that the fire department exposed me to was people from many walks of life, both very successful and not successful and everything in between. So like I said earlier, man, like everybody has something to teach you. So anytime I'm around somebody I don't know and like you start talking to them and bro, they'll drop nuggets and they don't even realize they're dropping nuggets. And
Yeah.
you like, hey, dude, tell me more about this. That's awesome. Like, and there you go. So a lot of perspective.
What's something you've had to let go of?
Ooh, anger. Just accepting the things that you can't change, right? And understanding and forgiveness to yourself. Like you talked about earlier, you made a mistake and this and no, dude, you got to let all that go because that's not helping you. Anything that's not helping you, it's not serving you, it's deterring you.
It's over with.
It's over with. And like, it's cool to be sad and, feel your feelings and all that good stuff, man. Like if you're going through whatever, but at a certain point, you got to stop, get back to what you were doing, right? Like, you know, everybody knows what they need.
When
Now,
did you realize that anger could have been let go of?
when I ran out of it.
Well, that's a heavy answer.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like,
You were just depleted.
yeah. So funny enough, I just used that in training and used it and used it and used
Yeah.
it. And
Rage,
just
adrenaline.
rage and adrenaline. And there's a point there, like I didn't have any more. And like part of me, it almost like freaked me out because I'm like, whoa, like what now?
Got nothing left.
I got nothing left. And that's where like a different version started. Right. But yeah, that was a big one.
Phenomenal advice. Because, you know, we don't realize it. You and I have trained together in the gym hundreds of hours
Yeah.
over the
Long
course of
time.
several years, right? And we need to get back into that. Get back in the
Yeah,
lunchroom,
dude.
right?
Let's go.
You can't pull that trigger every training day.
No.
You can't. You can't go to the
No.
deepest, darkest depths of your own hell just to hit this number or to hit this performance. Because the day that you have to do that, you've already been there.
Yeah. You already played that card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not as powerful.
But I will say this, using it so much allowed me to kind of see that there is something beyond it.
And it really shows that there's a lesson in everything. And you use that lesson. Too many people learn the lesson, or they think they learn the lesson of just like, okay, now I just need a different trigger.
Right.
That's not it. You learned, okay, I just can't be angry all the time.
Yeah.
Other people find other ways to get more angry.
They do. They do. I feel like people intentionally make themselves
And
more angry.
It's dangerous, right?
It is because it could spill over.
Yeah.
Like it's cool if you want to use it in the moment, but like that will have spillover and we've seen it.
Consequences.
There's
Yeah.
consequences. Right.
So what makes you happy the most?
Seeing people that I care about doing well and happy and healthy. Like honestly, dude, like for example, like seeing you have all of this set up, like this is awesome. Cause like,
Sure.
again, I've known you for so long and we've trained and see where you're at and where you've come from and where you have left to go, And same, like I see my mom, she's healthy, she's walking around, you know. I see my buddy, he's doing this in his business. He's doing really well. His kids are great. Like his family's good, you know, work is good. Like everything is good.
Yeah.
Like
Your
that's enough.
wife, your family,
That's
your
it, dude.
dog.
Like I
Yeah.
don't need a lot, you know, and that's the thing. Like didn't come from a lot. So I don't need a lot. I want a lot and like it's cool, man. Like I'll get it. Like,
Yeah.
but it's not the driving force.
Yeah.
Right. Like
I've learned the same lesson. It's not even that you or I want a lot. It's just that it'd be nice,
it'd be nice.
but we're content and we're more than content. We're satisfied
Yeah.
with where we are. And it's a really important lesson because too many people just keep chasing.
Right.
dollar,
You have
dollar,
to
dollar.
you have to almost understand like, hey, I'm at what I've wanted for so long and it's okay to fucking throw that thing in neutral for a little bit and like take a look around, enjoy the view.
Be grateful.
Be grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
That's a big one.
So I didn't tell you this beforehand. I didn't know you were to use Field Notes. Field Notes is one of my favorite brands. I write all the notes. You saw
Yes.
me even finishing
I
notes earlier.
have their waterproof one in my BDU pocket at
Yeah.
work because I can write in the rain. It won't spill over. Like,
Exactly.
it's awesome.
Tearproof.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So you didn't know this, but every guest gets their own Field Notes.
Oh, nice, dude.
Every episode. The more that these come out, people are going to know it's coming. So this one is not the waterproof one, but keep this in your maybe your bunker bag or something.
Good deal, dude.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
dude. Yeah, every guest gets one. I like that size because they fit in your pocket.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same size.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you literally saw me earlier writing all these notes. I'm constantly writing, and it just really helps with memory, organization, and that's how these episodes are able to flow. I could just be this prepared,
Yeah, yeah.
and writing's a big part of that. I really, really, really have to thank Astro Skate. Their skating rinks in the state of Florida. We're at the Tarpon Springs location. They've been gracious enough to let me film here more than once, and they sponsored this episode's location. So I really want to thank them. Be sure to check out Astro Skate all over Florida.
Yeah.
You're probably going to find a location near you. Please check them out. The final question of every episode is the mantra of the podcast. And I may have told you a little bit before. Never waste a mistake is my dad's greatest lesson to me. And it's so important because he doesn't say never waste your mistake or his mistake or their mistake. It's any mistake. So you could have learned from your grandfather, the captain at work, this person or that person, or even yourself. So the last question to every interview is, what is one mistake you have not wasted?
So, without getting into too much detail, since we're at the end, I had a falling out with a friend, right? And to this day, I feel bad about how everything went down, right? And it was my fault, right? I said some things I shouldn't have said, and things got out of hand as they tend to get. But it was a mistake for me to speak out when I was angry or emotional, right? Again, we talked about it just a second ago, right? Like in that moment, like it sure as hell feels real. But once you cool off, you look back, you're like, you know, at that point, the relationship was already damaged. And I lost a great friend. And we're okay. We had some words afterwards and we're friends. We're cool, but we're not where we were.
Yeah.
Right. And that's on me. That mistake led to me becoming more present in the relationships that I do have and the ones that I continue to have and moving forward will make, is to not just assume that, you know, everything is free, right? Not free in the sense of money, but like if you're going to be a friend, like it comes with a certain degree of responsibility, right? And that was a mistake, you know, but I feel like overall it spilled over and gave me even more positivity on the back end. But initially it didn't feel like that. And if you would have told me that would have been in the outcome, I would have laughed in your face.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah.
Gonna keep it going forward.
That's it, man.
George,
Thomas.
you're the man. Love you, dog.